Kidneys in Chinese medicine, it is called, is similar to the heart, them. It only varies in the pronunciations. This is what Chinese told me. The way you're spelling is the same. In some books, I think you find it with, just to help us in pronunciation, something with here like this, zim, trying to make a difference from the heart. But the difference is just in the accent, like zem, zing, something like this. I cannot pronounce. But the way we translate this one, I think is more important. This is just only Chinese word. Is also difficult. Some books they say willpower, but for me willpower it is more like for the brain. I like the word determinism, which is a force that you cannot feel it now, but it's a force that is moving your destiny. And the only way to really understand is when you look back. And then you said, okay, what I was doing for the last 5 years, now I understand many things. But in the actual time, in the present time, is so big that you don't see. So these kidney plans ideas, very much ahead. Like I'm thinking of what I'm going to do in the next few months. And you are taking behaviors and actions right now, just for 5 few months ahead. This is why it's hard to understand right now. What you are doing right now is difficult until all the way is covered up. Then you look back and you see, okay, that was my kidneys actually. So open view, so big that we cannot realize right now. But it's there. It's thinking, because basically the kidney is running the family tree, and the family tree, for the family tree, more or less 500 years. For the family tree, it is more or less the way they think about it. For us, we think about it a couple of weeks, sometimes a couple of days only. It's a comfortable for our life to think about it. Just a few days ahead. If they told us a few months ahead, we have to put some extra force, right? It's not easy to think a few months ahead. Of course, we can do, but it's difficult. For the family tree, they're comfortable with 500. If the family tree puts an extra force, I think even 3,000 years ahead or back. So this is the way the kidneys have the perception of time, quite broad and quite big. The family tree, even though we don't see it, we cannot see my grandmother, she already passed out physically, but her energy is still here on me right now. And the energy of everybody, even though they are not here physically, they are still there. So I have chance as a human right now to heal even something that happened 500 years ago. I have the chance to destroy what is coming from generation to generation. Before I was born, Chinese nowadays is still counting this previous year. The previous year before I was born, they counted. You ask somebody with 30 years old, how old are you? And he will say, Chinese will say, I'm 31. So he had an extra year. Because for them, the year before I was born, it is quite important. So still they to put, for us Western people, we want to be young forever, because of the sun maybe. And then we do the other way around. Sometimes we lie a few years, a few years less. But they put an extra year, still nowadays. This time, before I was born, it's not only 1 year, it's a few years before I was born. This is what is called anterior heaven. Right when I'm born, I will get the effects of what they call posterior heaven. The idea of heaven, it is like, it is here right now. It is all the waves, all the chi that is affecting. What is affecting before I was born? They were very modern in a way. They understood, even though it's not so clear like that, but I think they understood in the books that my DNA is an antenna receiving all this information. It's just an antenna. Many scientists nowadays are thinking about this possibility. The official science is still thinking that in the DNA I can store all the information needed for a human being, which is quite too much. I think it's very impossible. Something so tiny, it's so small, and it's not only how to create a human being, to maintain a life human being is billions of informations or trillions of information in every single second. I think that will be too much to think of. But the idea of antenna is possible. If the DNA is so simple, but it is receiving all the waves in the universe, then the universe is very complex, and then it's possible to create a human being with the complexity of the universe or the complexity of the earth, then it's possible. There are many studies, especially the Russians like this idea. They have studies how to affect DNA with your voice, which is waves, how to affect DNA with emotions. They are working on that line, and slowly advancing. Very, very nice studies that are not already clear, but for science will be a revolution to say something like this, right? Our actions, along our life, they broadcast waves. This is why the karma, it's important what you do, because you are broadcasting something to what they call the Dharma River. You can call it wherever, but this concept of Dharma is huge in the East. It's a river because it's a waves. It's a river, invisible river, made out of waves. That is running all around us. Right now, right here, the Dharma is running. Therefore, then it's important to maintain the Dharma clean. How you maintain the Dharma clean? By your emotions, by your actions. Usually Western people, if I am alone in my house, I can be disgusting, I can be angry, no problem. Nobody can see me, because we live to the others. But Eastern people, traditional Eastern people, even though when you are alone, you are affecting the Dharma. So even in loneliness, you have to behave your emotions and yourself. They say like God is watching. So the responsibility of these human beings, it is to maintain the Dharma clean. Because the Dharma is like an interior heaven, and the Dharma will create human beings. So if you are breaking the Dharma river, then the next generation of human beings are going to be with problems. This is continue going on, the good things and the bad things, until one hero, it's called hero in the family tree, said, okay, enough is enough. And from here, I'm not going to pass it to the next generation. And this music dies on that hero. For the good or for the bad. Maybe something a genius family, and one of them becomes silly and then destroy the genius continuation. Good. But most common is something bad happened. Let's say that this guy, he went to war, right? We have so many fighters in the past, and he was killing many people. Even killing on the group like this, my friend. We never know. So many crazy things happened. We are born by this. And then, however, he gets traumatized. Tomorrow we talk about trauma in the liver. The trauma means that you, in a way, make it important to you. Some people, they kill, they don't feel guilty. They continue happy in their life. It is not what you have done. It is your emotions. You transfer music to the DNA with your emotions. So when you are alone in a room, you are also in contact with the Dharma River. This is why they are cool full day long, not only when they are in front of somebody. We try to be friendly only in front of friends. So all the actions, the Dharma River is huge, but every family tree, we can consider as a portion of it. Of course, nobody is isolated, and this family tree is also interconnected with some other family trees on the way. Whatever my grandfather was feeling with some other neighbor, that also could affect. If my grandfather was killing the neighbor, that will create some kind of crack in my family tree. Most of these strong actions, remember, doesn't matter what it happens, it's how you take it emotionally. Of course, if you kill somebody, that will something. Let's say that this family member here did something terrible. Even though he decided, and the wife, let's say, this both decided to keep it quiet, I will not pass it on to my children, even though something is there that we don't know, it's not verbal, it's not logical, but the waves, maybe in the guilt, in the emotions, are going through one generation. When I'm reaching here, this is like 1, 2, 3, even 4 generations back. So I don't know even the name of these people. I don't know even the life. But I got something inside me that is affecting me. Sometimes some uncomfortable situation in the family is coming from more than 1,000 years back. How to know? It's very difficult to identify this one. So then they think that the consequence of the personality of every human that is coming from the universe, We are not fully playing when we are born. Something is given to us. This is a family tree. And like this healing care, in a way, is the creator of family constellations. What he did it is just to pick up all the ideas from the shamans. For many thousands of years, the treating the family tree as way to heal people, it was the most common. However, if you are a tourist and you go to a shaman in Peru, and then he will prescribe some things to do, then it's not working, and you will say this shaman is a charlatan, it's fake. But the shaman has to be a guy in the village connected with all these stories. So the shaman should know your grandfather life perfectly, your grandfather life also. Then because he knows all your family tree, he was living in the same village, then he's able to tell you what to do in order to help everybody. And this is the origin of tattoos and piercings. That I come because I have like a problem in my leg, and then the shaman will tell me, because I know that story, maybe he's the only one who knows the stories, like the priest, and the priest has the information of everybody else because of confession. Right? So the shaman was something the same. Everybody's confessing all my sins, but the shaman is not telling to everybody, but he knows. So I know what happened here in your grandfather life because your grandfather told me. Whatever, I'm not going to tell you now, but you don't need to know. Just go and have a tattoo here of a cup. And you don't know why, but you have a cup here all your life. Maybe this grandfather of yours killed somebody with a cup or something. So it's always using symbolic actions in order for you to have the clear destiny. Again, if you have a destiny, we go back to the angle theory. If you are a bit lost here and you have some symptoms in your leg, if the shaman is giving you some tattoo, like put a cup in your leg, tattoo with a dragon surrounding, they do a little bit of these mythological animals to protect. Just a cup protecting with a dragon. You don't understand, but somehow your leg is going fine. And every day you see the cup here, you don't understand, but you want to, your behavior starts changing. You're coming back to your destiny, and your destiny is to save the family tree. If we do so, if we are doing subconsciously, or sometimes consciously, we are helping everybody there, then our health is strong, our emotions are happy and clean, nice. We are all like savers, like Jesus Christ. We can hear all the religions, even Buddha. When Buddha came, it's very similar to Jesus Christ's story. All these beautiful babies for religion, they are savers, which all of us are savers. We are saving our family tree, basically. We are all, every time we are born, it's a motive of happiness. All the families, oh, everybody's very happy because not only your mother is very happy, even your grandmother, if he's still alive, very happy, even though I'm going to die tomorrow, I'm very happy with this new saver because she will save all my mistakes in my life. You got the feeling when you're a grandmother. Yeah, I love this baby, you know, and you hold the baby like this, please correct everything I have done wrong in my life. So then you save me in a way, then I'll die in peace thanks to this baby. We are all Jesus Christ as a symbol. So one of our destinies is to save your family tree. It's a beautiful job to do in life, I guess. Of course it's not easy, but this is why we are here. We are born here. Some people, they got it more easy, depends on what is going on there in your family tree. Most of the times you don't know. Most of the times you don't know. It's something that your father and your mother, they never tell you. Consciously you don't know. But this information is there. What they call the karma, right? Karma, it is the actions that your family tree has done. It is all over you. So the same thing, all the actions you will do in your life, that will change also the music to continue producing human beings, continue to produce antennas. So I think it's very interesting and beautiful that your actions are not only you. You have to be responsible with all your family tree in the past and in the future. This is why these Eastern people are very actionless. They try to do the minimum as possible in order not to cause problems in the whole family. We are Western people who are full of action. We are educated to do and do. So our life is full of goods and bads. You know? The Eastern, they're trying to live their life, the minimum actions as possible, not to interfere in my family tree. And this for them is a good karma. So just wake up in the morning, they don't even talk so much. They don't want to cause any kind of disturbance in that music. If they think that the situation is right, in my family, then minimum actions in my life. Yeah, for us this will be boring. Just a boring life, but for them it's too much responsibility. So remember, as I was told you, the most healthy thing, it is don't do anything and then it will come decay. I have it inside, but I'm not gonna feel it. I'm not gonna talk about it so much, and I'm not gonna recall it in my memory, and I'm gonna think about it. So even it's inside me, I will not transfer to my next generation. So that you have it inside, but you don't feel it, you don't think about it, you transfer a slightly amount to this generation, and the next one here will be fully clean. Decay is the most healthy thing for everything. So if this generation, if you pass this information, these traumas to this one, even though you don't tell the story, you feel it inside, it will pass it on to the DNA. So it will be part of the antenna. Yeah, this DNA is creating a body. If you create a body like this, with this nose, this is already an antenna. If you would stop this message here, it will not continue to the next generation. Maybe your nose will be just like this. Just as an example. Even your body will change. As soon as you are born, your body's, the body takes some time. Like it takes like nearly 14 years or more to have the final shape. Right? So along this time, we have many chances for the mother and the father to cancel out this new story coming. And then this one, it will be the hero of the next future generations. We have so many heroes all around the way, so many murders, so many traumas. But so part of our destiny, it is just to help the family tree. Very common that this flower of the family tree, the few generations before, even 2 generations, sometimes only 1, even 3 generations before the flower, so many problems. So many problems. And then here maybe it was okay. It is the storm before the beauty. It is quite common this is called the paradox of education. We are always thinking, I want to educate my child the best as possible. However, if you do so, it's difficult, if you do so, he will be like a very weak fellow. You're giving a lot of trouble, but you cannot give troubles on purpose. So this is for you to become a flower. That would be very silly, right? It happened as a destiny. You cannot force it. But if destiny is coming like this, problem, then somebody will come here like, yeah, Jesus Christ came in a very difficult time for humans. Buddha was coming in a difficult time, but India was crazy also there, fighting and war and everything. So every time so many troubles, it's like a sacrifice. You sacrifice a few generations to bring a nice flower on the top. So yes, I don't know if you can force this one. Sometimes the flower is destiny. You can, I'm going to be the flower. I don't know if you can force that. But yeah, this is paradox of education. Also depends on everyone. Sometimes nature, the tree, sometimes nature is throwing out the seed far away, even to another continent, far away from this family tree. Especially when the family tree rather is too perfect, so you are very balanced. Some other family tree might need you. We don't need you, because we are quite a strong tree. So let's try and help somebody else. And some humans are to help other people. Sometimes when the family tree is very much damaged, they said, okay, just save your ass, go to another family, because here you stay with us, you will get contaminated. So for some humans, it is for most of us, our destiny is to save our family tree. Some other people is to save some of the family trees as well. Your family tree plus other ones, or you run away from your family tree also if it's very much destroyed. Nowadays society is very fast, very materialistic, so many people are lost. I don't know exactly, I run my life because of the advertisements on TV, because of my desires, because of visual things, so then we are quite lost. So maybe this is why it's the most common sadist in the world, left kidney gym. People, they are running out of the destinies, a little bit confused. What the problem of this one is, you run your life without helping others, then you will repeat the same mistake with the children. So in a way, this generation, it is useless or not so useful. These shamans, they tell you there is something going on in your family tree. You have the chance to be a hero. This is the concept of a hero in the family tree. You have the chance in your life right now to be a hero and cut it off, so no more continuation, or you just be silly and then you pass it on to the next generation. This is how even in China nowadays, if you go to these holistic doctors, he will talk to you. You want to stop this one right now, so the next generation doesn't feel it, then you have to sacrifice a little bit. But that sacrifice will make you happy also on the way. And then your children will be like quite good. So yeah, some people believe that we have this generation that is difficult nowadays, very disconnected. It is because we have First World War, Second World War in Europe. So many killings, so many deaths, so many family trees broken. Now nature is a little bit of... So another might say that it was needed. We need sometimes a war in order to clean so many things. Like a massive killing also is helping for the forest to grow more strong. Yeah, that could be also, right? Depends how you look at it. Okay, this is Untitled Heaven, very interesting. Many people here in the East, they spend all their life working on the understanding of Dharma. And some of them, they spend all their life trying to clean the Dharma. I remember the one Tibetan monk that I met a long time ago, and he told me, we are very busy. And I told him about what you do in the monastery. We are very busy because we have to clean all the wrong things that are going on right now in the world. They believe that in the Himalayas, from here we can broadcast, compensate all the problems. Many people are suffering, many people are crying. So in the monastery we can feel that. And we are trying to send another waves to compensate and to clean the Dharma. Because these people, they don't know what is the Dharma, so they cannot do it. So they are making it dirty. Yeah, I thought the monks are doing nothing in the monastery, but they are working hard to compensate our crazy life. So let's say that I am born now at the year of 0, right? With all this information within me, all this information within me. And then I know that one of my destinies as a savior, as a Jesus Christ coming to save humankind, is to save my family tree. And for this one, my full family tree will give me some virtues. So at the beginning, I'm coming with different virtues or specific skills. Even twin brothers, the mother can tell you that one of my twin brothers, he likes this kind of red color, and the other one is more attention to green color. You can tell very clear the difference at the beginning. They are not coming with exactly the same attention. You're trying to make this, one is laughing and the other one, nothing at all, right? And they are twin brothers even. So every human is coming here with some particular skills. So at the beginning, it is the left kidney. We know that the left kidney, it is the mother kidney. The mother kidney, we call it determinism. We can translate this theme into determination for my destiny. So destiny, determination is left kidney. And these skills are very clear right at the beginning, when I am a little baby. Even more than I am a grown-up. Babies, they bring this very clear. Piaget, which is one of the most famous still nowadays, this as a pediatric, because he brought up all the ideas with babies in a Western way anyway. But he has a nice sentence. He said, babies confuse themselves with the universe. They are universe. They don't confuse, they are universe. And slowly growing up means to segregate pieces of the universe until you are grown up enough, and then you differentiate a self. But the idea of a self is a little bit tricky, it's a lie. You are not a self, but your brain, when it's growing your brain, it will give you the impression that you are separate from your family tree, you are separate from the universe. Babies, they know very clear, I'm not separate from the universe. Even this guy was saying, when you sometimes when they get a lot of attachment to some object, when you take it away from the baby, they cry because they feel pain. Actually, you're breaking even my physical body, and then they cry because my body and the body of everything around me is the same. They don't identify my body as separated from the universe. Right? So I am all. Right? Babies, they are very, very much into spirituality. Slowly we are breaking down, and then we have to bring up an effort to come back to the same feelings. So the job at the beginning, the connection, until the year of around one and a half, more or less 1.5, when the baby is possible to, how you call this, crawl, right? Crawl. When the baby can crawl, then it is he will find my father. But at the beginning, from the year of 0 until this time, 1.5 years approximately, it is only mother time. The baby doesn't recognize the father as a father. He's just some kind of guy around there. Right? The job of the father, which creates a lot of troubles in this time. So we can say here that this is the mother with the baby, and they create like a cocoon of energy. This cocoon of energy is the energy of the full family tree. The mothers are very much connected and receiving a lot of information with the baby, because the baby is bringing the information from the family tree. So the job of the mother at this time, it is recording. The mother becomes like a recorder, recording all the information. What is the family tree expecting you to do? So what is the family tree expecting my baby to do? And then it's picking up all this information. For the rest of my life, every time I'm lost in my destiny, calling my mother, it is the best solution, right? My mother will tell me, you should this and do that, and the advice of the mother is always coming from this time. She will remember precisely, when you were a baby, this is what you like to do. So then to continue with that thing, I know exactly what makes you happy. So it's very important, and my mother, spending time with my mother here is very important at the beginning. It's terrible in nowadays, you give your baby to a mate or something. Then the mate will be a little bit like a recorder. Not perfect recorder, because he's not from the family tree. Only maybe brain recorder, understanding, but not all this connection. It is crucial, yeah. I remember one psychologist when I was studying at the university. I remember him because his name is Condon. How can you name yourself Condon if you are expert on babies, you know? That was a funny thing to remember in my life. So he was very shocked why for us, for guys, when my wife is giving me a baby, I get like uncomfortable, and then I pass it on very fast. Even 1 minute with the baby is already too much, and we get tense with the baby in the hands, right? However, you give the baby to the mother, and the mother can stay with the baby hours and hours without getting bored. But usually we are always watching TV. If the baby is here on the mother, they can stay like this, like a pleasant meditation. He was very surprised on this, so he decided to record many mothers with babies on the hands. And he could see on a speed camera that they are dancing together. Dancing like, I suppose, dancing with the fascia in a speed camera. But the most interesting thing is that the baby was commanding the dance, not the mother. The baby was telling the mother how to dance. The baby is bringing information from all this family tree, and is passing the information to the mother. The mother is a recorder. This is why the mother can stay hours and hours with the baby. However, the father is not a recorder. You give it to a father, and the father is not dancing. So because the father doesn't understand the dance, the baby cries. I don't get, this guy is not picking up any of my information. They're talking very loudly, but we don't listen. And then here, and then with the mother, it's like, They like not only the mother, they like to spend some time with the female members of the family tree. Grandmother, even the auntie, the different, all these family members are getting also information. Because the baby doesn't want anybody to fight. So if I give all the information to my mother and not to the other ones, my mother will have to fight with them to convince them. But if I go to my auntie for a little while, and then then everybody will be agree. Very common at this time. Mothers, they love it. Most of the mothers, they are very in silence for many hours. When they put the baby to sleep and they start talking, it's a amount of information is going like, my baby this, and then how do you know all that much? You know, if the baby is doing nothing. For us, baby is eating and is shitting. For us, we don't understand much. Okay, but the mothers are great recording, and a lot of information is coming. This is very important. This is one of the jobs of my mother, and maybe the starting point. You should be spending time here. The father, now we have this one, what Sigmund Freud, I suppose you heard of this guy, Sigmund Freud, called the Edipo complex, which is quite interesting at this time. It's creating a lot of troubles because during the pregnancy, then now we have the mother and father together, and they are in a very one of the peaks of love in the relationship. It is so beautiful to see you with this belly here. The smell even of the wife is quite intense for him. They want to make sex, and they can do sex until the end. So they have a strong connection. Suddenly, when the baby borns, the mother gets a strong connection with the baby, and the father is a little bit out of this cocoon. Suddenly, in a matter of a week, you don't love me anymore. You don't love me as much. And then he is complaining, and the mother is so busy that just go and pick up some food for us. But don't talk like this. And then you're kicking me out. No sex. The mother doesn't feel any desire for sex right now. It's not time for sex for her. Even it's difficult physically. Right? And the husband, it is more horny, asking for sex, and the mother is rejecting. It's a big change from here to here for us. The mother doesn't feel it because I love my husband. Suddenly I love even more and strong my baby. So I don't miss any love. I have the love here. But the husband is a little bit, what about me? I am here, so somebody can help. You know, some of them, if they are not very well educated or something, they will go out having an affair or having sex with prostitutes, or they are breaking the family at the starting point because you're not paying attention to me. I will obtain love or sex outside. The job of the father, it will be important to explain this to the fathers at the beginning so they don't make any mistake. This should be like this. Don't feel bad. You know? It is your job, actually, an outside protector. The only thing you have to do is protect this cocoon. Protect this cocoon from distance. Bringing food, bringing water. If somebody is attacking here, if the neighbor is spent too much of time with here, and the mother is telling you, tell the neighbor to go, please. You know, because the baby is uncomfortable. So then you have to, the job of the father is protecting this one. You tell the neighbor, will you please go, because my wife, you know, my baby, they need more time together. It's a job. It's an interesting job. You should feel from distance the love of this one, but they will not call you. You have to do it like, I love the full cocoon. However, even though they don't seem to care about me. This is why we are quite self-sufficient men. We're educated for that. Slowly, the baby, when the baby starts to segregate his body from the universe, and the information it is given to the mother, slowly the baby will like to discover the wall, breaking the cocoon. And now when the father becomes very important, because the mother is in love with this feeling. It's an eternity feeling. I feel like I'm going to live forever, because the full family tree is on me right now. I feel myself young forever, eternal. When you take the baby out, I feel like I'm going to die. I feel like a mortal. With the baby, the mother feels immortal, because the information is coming from very long time. It's a lovely feeling for them. We don't get the immortality feeling when we are holding babies. So slowly the baby will like to break out, but the mother doesn't want, most of the mothers. Right? So then the father is here. Now finally the father is outside this cocoon, trying to convince the mother, okay, just let the baby, I'll take the baby for just a minute. And the mother, okay, but just a minute. When the baby starts to crawl, right, this is when the father, it is there. Yeah. The right kidney gene. This is when the right kidney gene started. From eternity until the year of 1.5, it is left kidney gene. When you find out your father outside there, it is starting the right kidney gene, and the right kidney is the father kidney. We call the left kidney, mother kidney, destiny of determinism. For the father kidney, we call it path instead of destiny, path, determinism. The energy or the power to run your path. The difference between path and destiny, it is also very famous in the East, especially because Confucius, this Chinese philosopher, the most renowned philosopher in the world, Confucius. He differentiates destiny and path. Destiny, it is those things that are going to happen because your family tree is pushing. Of course, you can control in a way because you developed with your actions and with your emotions the river of Dharma to your family tree. So the destiny, you can break it, easily to break, but your job will be to flow with the destiny. And you contribute. You can contribute slightly. If the destiny is very broken, maybe you can save it. The destiny is fine. Your job is to maintain in that way. Right? This is destiny. The flow of the river of Dharma is your family tree. Path, it will be all the things that I do to actually to work with everybody around, like my job, my business, in a little bit away of my family tree. My colleagues in my office, my friends, my decision how to fit into society. This is the path. So when I started to take my path is to break out the cocoon with my mother. This is my path. Starting to discover the world, so I can take decisions and find out what I want, what I have to do in the world. At the beginning with my mother, I still in the universe, at the center of the universe with my mother. It's not a real world. It's not reality. Slowly the baby likes to feel how is the floor, just scrolling on the floor, just touching here and there, looking at the window to see the light. At the beginning the babies, they don't even have eyes to see far away. Slowly you want to discover what is this light, what is breathing. All these discoveries, my father will help me. So my father is always pushing me to adventures in life. We call this right kidney gene wild image of the group. The job of the father is to understand the outside world in a practical way. My father is more practical. Understanding society is literally, I like to see this picture of my father reading newspaper. Father reading newspaper is father trying to understand how society is running right now. He needs to know, his job is to record the information from society. My mother is recording information from the baby, my father is recording information from society. So a nice picture at the beginning is mother with the baby and father in another chair with the newspaper. Both of them are recording. And I believe the father at the beginning, when the baby is there, the understanding of society it changes also. It goes faster when you pick up the information, when you pick up the newspaper. Some parents, they told me, after my baby is born, I become more fearful person and afraid of what is going on. Every time I read newspapers, every time I watch this breaking news, I am more fearful than before because I have to protect something right now. So both of them are recording. One with the newspaper father, the mother with the baby. Mother much more spiritual, and the father very practical into society nowadays. You can't see that also the men, they like history more. Just understand history, but history in a global way, not the history of my family tree, the history of my country, what is going on. So, and in this recording of the father, how society is working, it will help him to do his job, which is bring up a wild image for the full family. Wild image means that I have to fit into society. My family have to fit into society. And this is a way to protect. The father is a protector and a supplier. Of course, I'm talking in a traditional way, like energies. Sometimes they change roles. The mother can be a supplier too. The father can be a little bit of emotional too. But the specializations, it is coming like this. So slowly, at the year of 1.5, the time that the father is working is not very much. There's a couple of minutes a day. Then slowly and done. But this the amount of time it will grow with the amount of time the father is playing with the baby, it will grow. But the year of 3, then the father is becoming more important because now you can play and the father is doing all these crazy things with the baby, just for the baby to feel what is gravity, just to feel what is your force, your strength. Then the father, we are taking a little bit more risk with the baby. Most of the time, if the mother is still in the cocoon, for sometimes the mother is difficult to understand and this is over. It's painful, right? Now, yeah, because it's not over suddenly, it's gradually. slowly less and less time with the baby in my hands. The recording, it is ending slowly. And another baby is going to take decision by itself. He has to follow his path also, not the destiny. Right? Sometimes the father will say, okay, I'm going with the baby alone. You stay here. So I can take risk with the baby. If I'm doing this to my baby, if the mother is there, don't do that. Just stay home. It's good for him. It's good for the baby to experience a little bit of risk, a little bit of the power of life. So then the father is more risky in games, telling him how to achieve. How to achieve is at the beginning how to do like, just doing like this is an achievement. And the father is, come on, do it. Then he is smiling. All the achievements are being pushed by my father. And this is his job. Most of the time he has a big brain to understand, I want my baby to do this achievement because right now in society, according with the newspaper, this will be important in the future. So he's running the whole pushing for achievements with an idea. Of course you will need physical power, or you will need some intelligence. Maybe the father read on the newspaper, programmers, they are not, they don't get unemployment, so I want my baby to be into technology. So at the very early age, even with a year and a half, this is my mobile, click here, click there. The father is already thinking, if he knows technology, will be good for him in the future. So the father is thinking very much ahead. But the whole idea is that my baby will fit in society. So society will love him, will respect him, will admire him. This is his concern. Nowadays, let me talk about this one. Nowadays, we can hardly understand sometimes the importance of this one, but it was the job of the father, a protector and a supplier, which is the same thing. I mean, is how you protect by supplier. Another way you protect is maintaining the wild image. I think it's clear to understand if you live in a tribe of different members. Let's say I live in a tribe of 50 members. These are different houses here. We were living in tribes for thousands of years. Right? So how many families are here? Maybe there are 20 families. 20 families. Right? And most of the time we have more or less a group of people, like say 3 people, they are the boss in the tribe. If you don't have a nice reputation here as an image, let's say that this family here, nobody likes, because they make so many trouble. They are not. The image is not well done. So every time these 3 people, the bosses in the group, they have to decide something dangerous. Of course, they will send these family members that nobody likes. If there is a lion there, then somebody have to go there and kill the lion. Who is going? So there's this guy, the son of this family. You go and try to kill the lion. Why me? Yeah, because nobody likes you. So if you get killed, that will be even a benefit for the tribe. So in this way, it's important that the father maintained like everybody like us. It is like, this is why the parents are the image. My father was always concerned about how I dress. Still nowadays, but a bit less. My father grew up in a small village, and the village is very strong. It's similar like this. What the people might think about us is very important for the father. The mother not so much. Right? So this is the protection of the father, to maintain and to make that everybody outside my door, my house, everybody like us. Everybody is happy with who we are. So if everybody likes this family, you are well protected. You will be the last to go to the war. You will be the first one to eat, because everybody likes you. It is the one who teaching you how to have friends, how to understand friendship, how to understand teamwork in the outside. So your mother gives you the talent, and your father is how to use these talents for a useful job in life. The concern of the mother, it is to save the family tree. My savior, my baby. And I want to use my baby to save my mother, my grandmother, and that will make him happy, because that will make him a destiny. Yeah, different jobs, mother and father. They have to, of course, they have to have a conversation. Then I have another picture here. When I am sleeping in the room, I have mother and father sitting having tea, and then this is the conversation of mother and father. The conversation between these two, when I am a baby, is very important, because they both coordinate the balance between destiny and path. My mother will say, they said, okay, our baby, I noticed that our baby loved music. Every time it's on a guitar playing, it's like, whoa, it goes amazing. And the father said, yes, but I read in the newspaper that musicians are all then unemployment. But I think we should buy a guitar for our baby, just to play more music. And the father said, I don't know a guitar, let's buy a piano, because I've seen on the newspaper that piano players, they got more chances. And then this decision will brought a piano to the baby. And maybe the baby is like, not like the piano. Then I told you, no, we should buy, I know my baby, the baby likes the sound of a guitar, not a piano. And then the father have to return the piano to the shop and then bring in a guitar, and the baby, zzz. See, I told you, the mother usually is right. One of the job of the father at the beginning is like, mothers are always right, in a way. We have to go all through the way sometimes, or we can do it at the beginning, right? But at the end, it's always true, especially with our babies. All our life, actually, not only at the beginning. But the father is doing his job. He said, I understand that your baby is perfect and you love him and he's very talented. But these talents should be someday useful in society. So that's also another brain, another intelligence, and the mother sometimes has to understand. Okay, let's get don't get the guitar, because I also don't want to be a musician. And sometimes the mother behind, the father is like, yeah, you play guitar, and then now daddy is not here. And then the son is enjoying. This is the conversation when I am not there, but the baby is the main intelligence. The baby is doing the manipulating, not manipulating, but controlling these two people. Sometimes powerful babies, they create the family. I like to believe, I tell this to my daughter, that you decide, you pick up this and my father and this and my mother. Recently in India she told me, I think so too. I'm very comfortable with the situation. I like what has happened. She told me, I will change something, then I would like to spend more time with you. That was very beautiful. I didn't spend enough time with you. But the whole thing that a mother in Chile and father in Spain, it was my decision. She said so. I believe we decide. We also decide as a babies if we want this to be a strong connection or breaking down the connection sometime. The baby, I believe at the beginning, when you are around 5 years old, maybe not anymore, but baby decide if this is going to be a beautiful cocoon, mother and father, or problems. Sometimes you can see fighting, and the baby sleep like a baby and is smiling. If the baby really want to break down this connection, mother and father, I believe so. Sometimes the baby coming by the family tree might not be agree with these two. So these grand ancestors, they want a divorce here. They bring a baby helping in the divorce. So you have to accept destiny. We love one another. Since the baby is here, we're fighting. Sometimes the baby, they wanted to fight, but in order to create a more strong understanding. Most of the time the baby is breaking the love between them. But we had loved our baby. If they love too much, they don't take care of the baby. Sometimes many families, I love my husband so much, my children not so much. This is not normal. The first love of the mother is always the baby. The second love of the mother, the second baby. And the last one, it will be the father. In a different way, of course, but this, and the father has to understand, you love your son, and then I'll be second. Just don't worry. Just give me a different kind of love, which is related with more physical and sexual love. For then, the rest. It should be like this. This is important, and they understand for me to feel peace in my sleep. Those babies that they cry and cry and cry, rather they do it on purpose, or they don't see them. They're trying to change this energy. They're not comfortable with the energy. So she's working, the baby, he or she is working hard at the beginning with the intelligence of the full universe and the family tree. So my father is coming to me around the year of 1.5. He will continue on my life, right? And then I continue like this until the year. Now we have the other kidney, which is left kidney young. This left kidney young, we name it the wild projects of my life. In the kidneys always is related with my groups. It's nothing to do with me alone. It has to be my project is including my people. You cannot run a project by yourself. Maybe some people by the tree is sending a seed very far away, and then you have to run a project far away from the family. But in a way, you are conquering another continent to bring those treasures to the family. It's always at the end of the journey, it is for your family also. So this is when I have to decide what to do in my life. All at the beginning, my life is run by my parents. I follow them wherever they go. I have to follow. And this is important because nowadays they're asking, in this time they're asking the child, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? So many, what do you want to do? So we go to the park, you want to go to, sometime with the 2 years old, and they say, they don't know how to respond. They cannot think ahead more than a few minutes. Do you want this weekend we go to the beach? And the baby, yeah. See, the baby says so. The baby really didn't understand what is the beach, how far it is, and what is a weekend. Right? But the family is, oh, the daughter said we have to go to the beach, so let's do it. No, this is now it's upside down. I remember with my father, I was like this, waiting, holding his hand, and he was talking with somebody else, and then I was waiting. Yeah? And then my father, let's go. So I go. Right now, my daughter was pushing my hand, and then I was talking. wait. She wanted to command my decisions. This is something wrong. At this time, we have to be. Don't ask what to do. You take responsibilities. You might be wrong or no, but you are the father, you are the mother. Run it. At the year when this is starting to be, in most of the cultures, it's between 14 and 18 years old. And I think nowadays it's even 20 something. Let's say 25. Between this age, depends on the cultures, right? It is when I have to start taking my personal decisions. Now my destiny, it is slowly breaking apart from my parents. We will never always be fully disconnected, but I have to take my own decisions. And everybody celebrates. It's the time that you are an adult in most of the society. We have this number here. Many cultures it was 14. For us it's 18 because of the passport. Then you can travel here according with the law. 18 you become an adult. Right? We are not very ready nowadays to take decisions. Maybe because we don't have the direction of our parents very well. So sometimes we have to take decisions later on in life. So this is when I'm going to start my project. My project at the early age, it is nice and I do a little bit of trying. I have many projects, not only one, few lines. Hopefully they're parallel, so they're helping one another. They're not crossing over. This, if I run a project and it destroys the other ones, that will be a little bit silly. It's normal that when you're a teenager you try. You play guitar for a week, then you throw the guitar out, then you're playing piano for another week, then music is not for me, let me go cycling. At this age it's normal. No? Slowly, so many tryings, slowly when you grow older, all these lines have to convert. Come at the year, a little bit earlier, hopefully at the year of 35 or so, in this society, then all these ideas have to convert in one single project. One single project has to be the main one, and the other ones, many other around, help them. Another thing important, and I usually tell to the patients, is when you are breaking into an adulthood, the state of life with its self-satisfaction, one of the things to do in this state, it is to clean up what they put you. What they put you when you were a child. Here, don't complain. Just take everything your parents are giving you. They're giving me education. They're telling me how to feel, how to perceive, how to sense all my emotions. Then it's okay. Now at the year of 18, you have to start cleaning up those things. You decide not only what to do in life, how I want to be. So my father gave me some kind of anger. But now I'm 18 years old, I cannot blame him. I have to say I don't want this anger from my father, so I do my best to put it out. Then I see that my father is also giving me the sense of responsibility. This I want to keep it. So my responsibility when I'm reaching this age, it is just to clean myself out or maintain what my parents told me to do or to be. So don't blame your parents anymore. That is very unfair. Now it's your responsibility, and this will last forever. Even you are 101 years old, you're still having something that your father gave you a long time ago. If you're still having it and you don't want, you make a mistake, not your father. You make the mistake. And telling this to the patients. Don't be so comfortable and say, because my father treats me like this, I am like that. Yeah, this makes sense when you are 11. How old are you right now? You haven't done your job. You have to clean up what you don't want inside you. So it's normal that we are trying. Sometimes the parents become angry because of the money. That I bought you a guitar and now that we have to throw out the guitar. But then it's normal that we are trying. Especially nowadays because we have so many options out there. And in the ancient times, my father was a carpenter, I was a carpenter too. So there was no doubt. Straight lines. But right now, trying until hopefully I get some decisions. And then I write my life with one center project. And the other ones are helping in parallel. This is a nice thing, right? You need so many other things to maintain this one. Like, let's say you have to do exercise to maintain myself fit for my project. I have to do, I like to read a little bit. Even though I'm an acupuncturist, I like to read about family tree. That project is helping this one, is supporting this one. So when we become older, we have to have different projects, but all of them in the same direction, hopefully. Sometimes you need a break. So we can say I have something here, not very well related, but it is helping me also. It's helping me to relax from my job. So that's also fair enough. Right? In a way, it's helping, even though it's like a holidays type of. This is also very clear to see with love. Teenagers, no, sorry, the love is the other way around. Teenagers, they loved in a very specific way. So I love Justin Bieber, and they go crazy. I love only one single individual, one single human. This human here will save all my destiny. I love him. They go crazy with that. Slowly, when we grow older, the love is expanding. Right? Then I don't love you all. I don't love you only. I love your situation. I love who you are. Then slowly open. I love also your family. I love the country. Then slowly, when you are like 40, 45 or something else, then you love the universe. So this is the expansion of love. When we are teenagers like this, this is helping us to work in the projects. You love these projects as nothing. Teenagers are like this. Then you put an extra effort on this one. Even though this project will not continue very far, you get a lesson out of it. So it's no problem. Just stop it. Then don't continue for this one. Then open up another project. However, this one, it gives me a lesson. And then again, teenagers will go very fanatic in everything. This is part of the teenager time. You go fanatic of something. You close your vision. And when you grow out, you're more relative. And then open up. So that is good. And you two are very obsessed in a way. And trying until you find out. This left kidney jam is also in charge of the different phases in life. It is the energy that is pushing me to continue progress. You can see it every day. Some people are, every day they want to learn something new. Every day they want to achieve something new. And they give you, remember, we talk about happiness. This is one of the organs important for happiness. Because you should love what you do in life. This is your project. And your projects are, most of the hours along your day, you're going to spend it working on your projects. So if you don't love what you do, then you have to wait for the weekends to come and get drunk. Waiting for the holidays to come to be happy. So that's difficult to be happy. You're waiting for the holidays. 20 days a year, I can be happy. The rest of the year. So, and this is the organ that pushing me to grow, progress. That's also brings is happiness. The action of learning from the long run is the opposite for a chocolate. Chocolate is a very short, ephemeral pleasure, ups and downs. But learning, it will give me like a lifetime pleasure. You might think now learning this acupuncture, it will give me a beautiful future. This lesson right now, it give me a nice understanding. This is another happiness, right? Happiness more stable. So it's important. Basically, we differentiate. I'm going to differentiate now life in three main blocks. The phases of life. Before this one, this life at the beginning, all this one we call the phase of joy or training. So at the beginning, like the same than animals, what they do, you see two cats, the kitty cats, they are playing, they're joyful. It is for training. You are learning yourself, you are training yourself when you become an adult. So the dogs, they do, the cats, they do, the mammals, basically mammals, all we are having a training process. The human training process is the longest, until the year of 18 and so on. Cats, they do it in a few years. Some animals, they do it in a few weeks, the training process until you become an adult. At this stage of life, it is fair enough to just have fun. Something that nowadays also sometimes the education forget. Children, they enjoy it. Children, they have to enjoy it, and they learn a lot by enjoyment. I have no destiny here. I have to just follow my parents' destiny, and my only responsibility is to have fun and learn as much as possible in all ways. Not only learn German language or English language, just learn emotionally, learn spiritually. You cannot put in a lot of responsibility like they were adults. Just be responsible. If they don't enjoy it, they will not learn. It is crucial. It is given by nature, their joy. Yeah. So many activities will give them a little bit of stress. If they don't enjoy it, they will not learn. They will learn only maybe with the brain, but they will not learn with the kidneys. And the learning of the kidneys is how to run my life. So to know what to do in the future, take decisions. At this time, for the enjoyment, magic is for free. And this magic, it is coming from this one here, which is Langjing. Langjing is bringing me the perception of the magic, that things are happening even though I don't see it. Children, they can see spirits, they can see animation, they can play with this for hours. This is natural. And then why this is there, why nature gives magic, the perception of magic in this age? Because it helps a lot in the learning process. You don't need to really go to a spaceship. You can just imagine that it's a spaceship. That will teach you also a lot, even the same thing. So thanks to this, the perception of you can made up something, the imaginarium. Thanks to the imaginarium, you can experience many things only in your mind. So using the joy, having fun, and using the magic, children, they learn 10 times, 20 times more than us. Even though they are doing nothing like this in a chair, they're learning 10 times more than you right now. And it should be like this. Don't cut the magic, don't cut the joy. Then your child will be lost in the future for destiny. And now I know some friends, and the child is in the school. The school is very strict, because it's a very good school nowadays. It means they're very strict. They're studying a lot. I think this is not a good school anyway. And then from then, the father is picking up and German lessons. An hour with a German teacher. After this, swimming. And after that, English lessons. And then they're going to bed around 11, fully tired and not able to play, just 5 minutes playing, falling asleep. Because I want my son or my daughter to be perfect in the future. Then he will be a perfect machine, breaking into depression, crashing, and maybe suicide. This is what you might get. You are like very strict with this education. Children will learn a lot and just play around, do whatever you want. They know exactly where to go, what to play. And don't give them give them choices, but don't force them. Just play with this, it's good for you. Play with German language. So then it can be also a game. And then they learn very fast German. But don't force them, just the options. You want to learn German or you want to play football? Then we say playing football. Yeah, it's another mistake that we do there, right? So the rate of suicides in the world, in the modern world, not here, in the modern world, at the beginning from 0 to 18, let's say 16, nobody suicides. Of course, children, they never think of suicides. Right? Suddenly, at the year between this one and 20 something, and 20, let's say in 26 or so, I don't know exactly. At this time, when you are a teenager, in a way, the teenagers, even 20 something they could be, it is the time that most of them suicides. Very high suicide rate. Again, from here until the year of 70, no more suicides. Very rare. It's a few. Here is nothing. Here is a few. And then from 70 again some kind of rate of suicide, but this is suicide is fair enough. I said, I don't want to give trouble to my family, I am very old, I have pain here, I have pain there, life is useless for me anymore, so I kill myself. Very common and fair enough. But this is the interesting part. When you are about to start your life, people, they kill themselves. Even more number of people, they suicide here than here. Right? Most of them in the northern European countries where the education is strict and society is very cold, no expressing out. Most of the suicide rate is coming from there. The winners are also Switzerland, Norway. Those are the winners of suicide always. Right? One of the situations is that depression here, which is normal depression, especially in societies. We'll talk about it in the lungs, because magic is free until this time. You can't just play around with your mind. Suddenly, at the year 14, more or less, magic, you have to bring it up yourself. It's not free anymore. You have to do something to able to perceive things that are not visible. If you don't do it, then life becomes from magic to very flat, literal and boring. These little kids are looking there, they could see everything moving, just like animals they do. Right? So it's enjoying only just to see, because they perceive beyond the eyes. But at this time, reality becomes flat. This was a spaceship, right now is a marker. So it becomes a fucking marker. You are angry with the wall, with the reality. You're complaining why you were magic and now I put an effort and there's no magic there. This is also why it's increasing, I think, suicide rate. The depression from magic to flat reality. It has not happened this depression in these societies where they maintain spirituality. If your father is taking you to the temple, you are praying with him since the year of 5, when you are reaching this time, you continue to see magic. But you need magic parents to believe in magic too. If your parents are very flat and literal, then for you it will be some kind of shock here. Not your parents, the full society. And we'll talk about this in the lungs. It's more related with the lungs. But we know that the lungs and the kidneys, especially the left kidney, they create the spiritual axis. So it's also in the kidneys. The second phase, so the first phase is the joy and training process for you to become an adult. The next one here, when you are breaking into an adult, according with some societies, this is now slowly, it's a progress, slowly a new phase that we can call self-satisfaction. Now the enjoyment, it is not having fun like without being productive. Children are not productive, they have fun by themselves. The production is the learning process inside, but they don't produce a lot of things. When you become an adult, then the enjoyment it is by being productive. We call it self-accomplishment or self-satisfaction. Now children, they laugh 10 times than us. And they have to laugh. When you become an adult, the laughter comes much less. But then it becomes the smile of the self-satisfaction. And this is the way we laugh, adults. You laugh with your heart. You laugh with your brain even. You don't need to really laugh a lot to enjoy life. You need to feel you go to bed and then you tell yourself, I am satisfied with what I have done, my progress, my pushing. Then this kidney will tell you, tell you how was your day. Did you learn a lot? Did you earn a lot of money? Did you progress in your ideas? Then you sleep like a baby. Some people have insomnia because they don't push the day enough to progress. Right? It could be the insomnia coming from this left kidney jam, if it's some kind of imbalance. Then you go to bed, and then you have like most of the religions. When you die, you will have some testing, and we do this every day. When we go to bed, you are checking yourself if I did right or not. If the conclusion is not, I waste my day, then sometimes it's difficult to sleep. If the conclusion is I have a very beautiful day, and then you're just enthusiastic with the idea of I'm going to get a new business with my job, I'm going to buy this, tomorrow I will wake up early in the morning, I will bring this up, and then it's like a beautiful life. Very important for happiness. And the happiness is in relation with my phase in life. This is why this is related with happiness. At the very early age, only just have fun and free with magic. And here is self-satisfaction. So I need to accomplish, I need to achieve. Sometimes just internal achievement, sometimes physical, like even money or build up something with your hands. Of course, this one through our life, because here at the beginning I have so many projects, slowly they have to be intense, more and more intense. Then you have to be slowly more and more productive, more efficient with your project. And that will give you are demanding to yourself. Yeah, when I was 20 years old, my business was, I was happy because my business was this much. But if you with 40 years old, the business is still the same high, then that will make you a difficult self-satisfaction. And this is one of the problems in these kind of societies where there are not a lot of chances. So you have a little banana shop, and after 20 years, the banana shop to give you the same amount of money than 20 years ago. So that gives you a little bit of no self-satisfaction. I think it's important for every human to grow. The feeling sometimes just a feeling of grow, the progress. So slowly this has to be more efficient. So this is the self-satisfaction when you are growing, is your efficiency in everything you do. The expertise give you the sleeping time, good sleeping time. Around the year of whatever, let's say between some place around here, before 30, hopefully, depends. Then you have the demand to start a project that will surpass your life. A project that will be longer than your existence, and this gives you also satisfaction. So one of these projects, parallel projects, hopefully parallel to helping one another, one of them, it has to be a project, and if you die here at the year of 101, you have a project that will continue on. And this will give you an investment for the future. When you reach the legacy state of life, then this is already developed. Then you can put the effort in these projects more than in the other ones. Many parallel projects, slowly reaching this time, this cancel my business, I will put my effort in the project that I started a long time ago, and I know will surpass my life. So the most common project is a baby. So then we have babies here. I know my baby will surpass my life, and then I put effort on my baby as an investment to the future. My baby will give me happiness. As much as I grow older, more happy I will be. So when I'm reaching the year of 60, 65, my children, they give me a lot of company and happiness. My grandsons, those projects that will surpass my life. If you don't want to have babies, then a project that will your happiness, a project, let's say your business, and you are business, and I know when I die, it will be a legacy, like a book. And always said, you write a book, plant a tree, have a baby. These 3 projects will surpass your life. That will give you the sense of happiness. At the beginning, it's difficult. Sometimes we are very hedonist society. Only enjoy myself. But so the baby at the beginning is like baby, and you don't see it. As soon as you grow older, then it's what a beautiful to have now children. Same thing with the project. Then the third phase in our life, it becomes more or less when I am around 60, 65. Around, it depends on the society also, 65, 70. Some people, they can feel it even early in life, like even 50. And this is the phase of the legacy. Now it's not so important what I'm able to achieve for my everyday life, but it becomes important what I'm gonna leave when I die. My legacy, what I'm gonna give to the humans, when I'm gonna give to my son, to my daughter, to my grandchildren, or to my company. What is gonna happen with my school when I die? So this becomes important, and many decisions great amount of the money is going for when I'm not gonna be there, to build up your reputation, what the people might think of me when I'm not here. So this is when you become a good grandfather, good grandmother, because you spend time with your grandchildren, trying to teach them all the knowledge that I have in a very simple way, in a beautiful way. Grandparents are very important because they give this kind of legacy. Even though you don't remember your grandparents, they give you a lot of nice message, even with the energy by itself. just to be with them sometimes. It's very important for the child to understand my destiny, my future. So you started to grow the tree here, and that will give you happiness when you are growing older. Self-satisfaction is not so a powerful energy anymore. We can say like legacy satisfaction. Now the last kidney, which is the right kidney young, this is what we call it father willpower. This is the father kidney. It's a father energy. So as you could see, our life is starting with yin in the left, another yin in the right. So at the beginning, the female energy is the most important. Then slowly, when I break into society, when I jump into society, then a jump, another jump. We are starting like girls. We grow up as guys, in a way, in terms of energy. Because the female, it is the protection, the female is the spirituality, the understanding. The female is also the healer. In this time is when your mother is a great healer. And the yang is the worker, the pusher, the achiever energy. So this is a natural way. To understand right kidney yang, father willpower, I have a nice way to understand because you know who is Don Quixote? Don Quixote is it's the most famous book in Spain. Don Quixote is the character, it's a fiction. It was written by an author, a real human being, which is called Cervantes, very good, thank you. Cervantes. So this is the real human and this is the fiction, right? I read a long time ago by one philosopher, also a Spanish guy, Unamuno, that he said he was questioning himself, did Cervantes have written the character, or the character was asking the writer to be written? I don't know you. Yeah. So then it's very true because I write sometimes myself. When you are writing and the project is working, then the book is calling you. The book is just using you. Was Don Quixote, the fiction, using Cervantes to be written? In a way, this is the father willpower. The project by itself will tell you what to do, and it will give you the energy to do so. Like when you have something to do because your project is demanding. I have a business with selling furnitures. Then my business is growing and selling a lot. So then I have to go to Singapore and get more furniture. This is this conclusion. It is not because you want, it's because the business is going like this. The project is demanding to grow. All the projects, when you are going into them, they demand by themselves. So if I want to fit my project, then I have to do this and this and this and this. All this is coming for the right kidney yang. It's the energy that your own project is giving you. If you don't have any nice projects, then you get laziness. Like teenagers nowadays, they have nothing to do because the parents are giving me money so I have no real projects much. By enjoying, even at 25, I continue in this stage, having fun because mommy is giving me money and father. Right? So no projects, and it becomes like the laziness of the teenagers nowadays. They have the energy for nature. They can run much faster and longer than me. However, they full-time the sofa, and then they go like, even to pick up a glass, will you come and pick up the glass for me? And they go like, everything seems to be tiring for them because they don't have a project. As soon as you have a project, energy is coming. And you can see people, even over 70, full of energy because they're doing this and that and that. I don't know how old is Donald Trump, 70 plus, right? 72, 70. Donald Trump is full of energy with 72 because he has thousands of projects running in one single day. So where is he getting the energy from? This one here. And this energy here, when you are reaching legacy, is related with long lasting, with longevity. So it's important that you work until you die. Then it's important that you have projects that are demanding you until you die. The idea of retirement is terrible. Retirement is for the government to kill you. You stop all your projects, then watching TV, then no energy, feeling lazy, and this energy maintain your bones, maintain your muscles, maintain your organs. If you don't have this father willpower inside, because no projects, then so many complications in the hospital. This energy, it is so important that it is related with life expectations. Especially when you are in this state of legacy, if you have nice projects that will give you energy, this energy, it is even your survival when you are older. This is why very common. Now life expectation nowadays is expanding for guys also. But this explains why always girls are living much longer than guys. Because when you are reaching this age, usually before, the guy becomes like stopping working and I go home only asking for food. So all my projects are gone. No, I retired. But the wife continue cooking, continue taking care of the grandchildren, so many activities, so many projects. So the girl was enjoying this energy. However, the guy, no more energy, becoming lazy, then physical problems, also is in relation with health when you're getting older, and very soon he died. Sometimes, even like my grandmother, the girl was living 30 years more than the husband, 20 years more than the husband, very common in those times before. And still nowadays, now the guys are a little bit closer to life expectation, but the girls are still much longer, because a grandmother has jobs to do all his life until very late, but us, we don't. So you want to be healthy and you want to live longer when you become this legacy time, it is important that you have projects that will surpass your life. Legacy is also the time for you to clean your sins. Some people are very bad people along the life. When you are reaching this phase of legacy, then you're starting to be like a good guy, trying to clean up all your mistakes. It's time to be good. You have a chance. It's never too late. But is it the chance to just give your money not to yourself, give your money to your projects, your legacy, to your son, to your children. Then when we die, now we come back, because the energy of kidney is a circle. So we come back to the left kidney yin. We close down the circle. We are starting back again from here. Now our energy belongs to the family tree in only energy level, no physical matter. We are now one of those ancestors helping the next generation to grow. Then now you have a job to do, and you are still moving your energies as a member, we can say like absent member in the family tree. So now you depend a lot. This is why it's so important. You depend a lot on the next generation. I did some mistakes, but there is chances that the new babies are helping my mistakes. Even though when you passed away, somebody can help you. So this is why the family tree is always supporting the new baby. Even though when you are dead, your job will be supporter of the new baby's comings, because they can help you. There's still some kind of communication going on, and you're still changing. You're still changing even though you are not there anymore, physically. So in a way, it is a reincarnation. I don't believe we reincarnate in a physical matter, but our energy continue in another antenna. So all our life, all the religions say you pay a price when you die. What the people say in the East is that this is the trick, is the mind. In India they call it Maya. Maya is a lie. Maya is our senses are tricking us. We are here forever. We were here forever. We continue forever, because we are only energy. You think yourself an energy, you never die. You were here always. You think yourself as a physical matter ego, of course you will die. So you think yourself as an energy, I was always here, I will continue in the different bodies, then this is a responsibility. Responsibility to maintain a beautiful line. The mistake of people being so selfish and so aggressive nowadays is because I'm thinking only to fulfill my material life. So if I'm gonna die, why should I care about anything? Man? Just the misunderstanding of death, I think create a lot of evil behavior and selfish. So to many people here, they get the money and destroy the money and going for hookers until I die. This is what I want to do. Yeah, because you think death is nothing. You think that after death is still something to do, then you're going to behave with a more responsible way. So I don't know if it's true or not, but it's helping to run a better life. You consider my life is not ending here. I have to clean the Dharma River, because my future, it will be also in my next life, I will have to pay the price. So this conception, I think, is helping a lot the understanding of the full life together. Let me remind you maybe how we perceive time with the heart, the perception of time. Actually, it is all this idea of memory, that needed triangular. This is not from the Chinese, it's modern science. But how you call it? The shape of the heart, it is like this in Chinese, which makes sense with this linear pyramidal way of making memory. Because this is for them the shape of fire, which also makes sense. When you see a flame coming up, this is fire. The way we perceive time, time is forward. Yeah? Forward. We know also about the liver. The liver, it is how you say this? Vertical. We're going to say vertical, right up. Rectangular, symbolize the energy of nature when it grows. The tree, when the tree are growing. The liver is a bit rebel, it's against gravity, breaking up gravity to grow. It is in relation with life, giving birth. The way we perceive time with the liver, it is timeless as soon as it's useful. The shape of a spleen, it is a square. Simplicity, remember, loyalty, the worker, team spirit, so that everybody is even, no fights. Even sides is a square. If you're trying to be uneven, then you create problems. Who is the boss here? We are an even group of people, is a strong force as workers. And then the way we perceive time, it is we are paying attention more on changes. The time depends on changes. Now the kidney, the figure of kidney, it is the circle. Things are coming all over again to themselves. The return, the eternal coming back. In a circle, it doesn't have an ending and it doesn't have a beginning. The circle, it is wherever you pick up here. I can say my life is starting here, a bit random. I was born here, wherever, and I will end here. For the kidney, it doesn't matter. A circle has no beginning and no ending. If we go for the perception of time, let's start with the right kidney yang, the more superficial, right kidney yang. This is father willpower, the energy that I get from my own projects. And the perception of time here, it is like routines. Every day I have to wake up in the morning, I have to do this. I complete routines until I end up the day, and then at the end of it, I have to get benefits. So I complete routines. Every day I do the same thing. At the end of the month, I get the salary. The salary will be the benefits. The small circles, small routines flowing. For the left kidney yang, this is the wild projects. Then it's another circles. We can say something like this: projects that are helping one another in these different lines. I have to do also so many repetitions. If I want to achieve some success, some benefits to my project, I have to do many things. I have to do many courses. I have to do many things quite similar in a way, but always growing up. These circles, let's say this is the circles in a daytime. and these circles are weeks or months. So these are bigger. Now we go to the girls, right kidney yin. Right kidney yin is the wild image of society, the wild image of my group, the force of the father to guide my family, to push them into society. The understanding of this one, it includes even that even far away from my lifetime. I was born here, I will die here, but it is the past. As far as you can go. This is why fathers, they loved history, to study the Roman Empire, the history of China. So now you can perceive and you enjoy it. You even reinforce the energy of the kidneys by reading a history book, by watching a documentary about history. That will give you some kind of power and understanding here. It's good. And usually it's the father who likes to read history. So this is even so big and it's beyond my time, my lifetime. And of course the biggest of all is the left kidney yin, the perception of time, that it can include the full universe. And then I am a small spot, maybe at the center of the universe or maybe in another spot. So this one is the one with spirituality. Now we call the family tree and its energy. The tree and its energy is the name of it, right? The tree and its energy. So you can see the kidney is all about circles, they're coming back. If we look in a narrow perspective, it will be routines here. Here it will be a bit bigger, like weeks or months. I have to organize my job. I want to invest this one to achieve in a few months ahead. If I go to the gyms, then it's even all the gyms, both right and left, are things beyond my lifetime. So the ability to see the future, the past, what's going to happen with society in a few years ahead, what is history in a few years back, and the left kidney yin is so big, and then it's now the meditation, the feeling of the whole. We are missing here the lungs. We'll talk about it, but the energy of the lungs, it is symbolized with an arrow. Because the perception of time for the lungs is the instant moment. When you are hitting something, getting the opportunities of the outside. So this is the present time, it's an instant moment. Your reaction, animal reaction are coming like an instant. So that's the perception of time of the lungs. So lung is a time, it can be straightforward, it can be like a trauma, stored there forever. It can be like paying attention of changing when I'm working, and it can be circles of routines with different big scope of time, or it can be like the instant moment to react. See, to what is real, what is time? We don't know. It depends how our brain is able to, or how our system, not the brain, the full organ, how we are able to understand in different moments. Is science right and then time is going forward? I don't think so. It's just a way to perceive time. Some people now, some scientists, they say time it doesn't exist. As it's an illusion of us. Yes, it could be. I don't know. Let's talk about the imbalance of the kidneys. We know we have this figure like maso sadist. So we can have a maso, we can have an absent, or sadist, and we never forget the possibility of balance. And sometimes we forget and people can be fine. The tricky thing, the most mistakes that I have seen with the kidneys is that we forget that the kidneys are difficult to catch because the artery is going down or because it's a little bit fatty. Naturally, this amount of energy is a bit less. It's a big difference with the human side and the heaven side. This earth side, we call it the earth, both kidneys, they're difficult. Sometimes, as long as you feel it with the pulse taking, also this finger, the sensitivity of this finger is very nothing. It's not very well trained. This one we have a lot of sensitivity in the pointing finger. So we are using the most difficult area with the less sensitive finger. So sometimes just you just able to feel it is enough. At least it's there, you know. Because I have seen many students just telling me kidneys absent. We are expecting the kidneys to be quite low. Let's start from as we have done before, like a lifetime. We will be starting off with the left kidney yin, the one who starts and ends, the beginning and the end of my life. So to interpret any kind of pulse taking in the left kidney yin is very big, right? It is nearly your full life and the life of your whole family tree. I like to think as a family tree altogether. When I get in this pulse, this is why I call the tree and its universe. So if it's a muscle here, it will be like you are searching for a destiny. You're pushing to find a destiny. It means that you are not really clear what to do. The message of your family tree is not clear. Also the message of your skills. You are a bit confused. What are you good at? So in this case, you are fighting to get it. It's not so bad. You are a little bit, in this case, insufficient complex. I'm not doing enough to my destiny. It's not a bad thing to be muscle here. It might be on a stage, and we all need sometimes. If we are lost, at least you're pushing. It is good to ask because you remember the mother is the recorder for our destiny. So it's good to ask every time we do something with the left kidney, what is the relation with your mother? That will tell us a lot of things. In this case, we're expecting rather the mother didn't do his job, like maybe your mother never guided you to the destiny, so you are in a way alone searching for your destiny with not enough support. If your mother was giving you a nice guidance, support, then for you it's clear what to do in life. But this one is like a little bit broken, the communication with her. Maybe it's a nice communication, but she was not there when you were a baby. She was working or something, or maybe in those times she was busy with something else, or maybe she was there, but right now her life is not perfect, so it's not guidance anymore. So no, or rather miscommunication, or she couldn't do the recording, or she did a wrong recording. That's also possible. Sometimes they will tell us that my mother was not there, I was raised by my auntie. Then it's difficult, right? My auntie was doing the recording, or I was adopted. Yeah, even though they're trying to do their best, it's not the same. But they say my mother for me is my auntie, or it's my grandmother actually. My grandmother is better because it's the second generation. At least it's something there, right? But in a way you feel alone in your family tree. This is the message of this muscle here. You are not fully connected with your people, so you have to do everything yourself. So now the question is, why are you not connected with your family tree? You don't have to do things alone, they have to guide you. So now we have to talk about the family tree and see what is the real job that you have to do in your life. Maybe you don't have enough communication with them. This is the advice for this muscle left kidney yin. It's not a bad thing because it's a good time for you to do your research, speak with your family. He's willing to do because he's pushing. So trying to understand your positioning in the family tree, your job, what they're expecting from you. Don't disconnect. It's not so common to see. The most common it will be an absent or a sadist. If we find an absent here in the left kidney yin, we know that absence are impotency complex. So in a way it's a giving up attitude. I stopped thinking about my family. I stopped searching what is my destiny. I stopped expecting some kind of skills. So the conclusion is like I might have no skills, no different virtues. My family, we are disconnected. There's no chance to get it back. So this is worse, like a giving up. If you are giving up in this kidney, the perception of time also will narrow very much. So very difficult to be spiritual, very difficult to understand your mother's life, to understand what you have to do with your family tree. Then an absent here will stop a lot the perception of the whole. telling you that you are a worker of a whole picture. Then you misunderstand this one when this is down. Very common, and many people have this is down. When it's balanced, then you feel that you are part of a beautiful universe and a beautiful family. So then you don't feel lonely. Remember, this is the spiritual axis. Every time it is affected, that might create depression. So we know that this is the left kidney, and here is the lung yin. These together they create the spiritual axis. It's another yin too. Left kidney yin. So if this is down here, no connection with my spirituality, no connection with my family tree, it's affecting my perception to the outside. It might give me some loneliness feelings. And loneliness feelings is a lot to do with depression. And the thing that I have to do everything myself in life, which is wrong. You are not alone, and you shouldn't be. You cannot achieve things alone. But they believe so in this state. It is not a good thing because they give up. All my life I have to fight. Where are my virtues? How to develop my virtues? My destiny is to fulfill the emptiness of a depression. It is only just by working or developing your virtues. In a way, blindly, just focus on what you like and continue. Destiny will unfold by itself. We don't need to search for destiny. We need to push our virtues, and the destiny will unfold by itself. And these people give up with my virtues. We give up on development. So then it's difficult to get your destiny. You will be lost. Magic, it is in the left kidneys. Magic is from mother. My mother is teaching me how to perceive, how to believe in things that are invisible. Yeah, because it's connected with this one. This one we will see, Lan Yin, it is bringing also the magic. This together is the spiritual axis. Spirituality is things that we don't see. Right? My father is more practical. He's telling me just believe in matter, believe in things that you touch. My mother is believing in yourself, which is something that is not touchable. The self is not touchable. Mother is I am, father is I have to. Or I have a car, I have a house, or I have to do this, I have to do that. The mother is only just I am the self, and this is untouchable. So it's already magic. Yeah. You have a wrong understanding with your mother, maybe you become very flat and practical person. They did some studies, people who are educated with mothers, they're very emotional and talkative. People educated with fathers, they are very, they call it instrumentals, very practical, yeah? And less communicative. So we need both energies, but for happiness, mother. And also father, because the father is the projects in life. But the mother will give me these ideas of able to see beyond reality. If it's an absent here, we can say that, yeah, you might be depressed. Depends on this one. You might be depressed because you don't see magic anymore. You are very practical, and for you, death, this is in relation with your full life together. So people like this will think that death is nothing is beyond death. When you die, you go to the hole, they bury you, and end of the story. So in a way, life is meaningless. It's no continuation after I died. So that brings another kind of depression, right? Like existent depression. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between these two. I don't know if it's an absent and it's a sadist. I think in origin treatment, you treat absence. Usually we say that we don't treat absence. In any way, they don't respond. But sometimes absence here, you treat them as a sadist, flicking the needles in sedation, they respond. Yeah, if that's sadist, they will respond more. Right? Both of them, for them, life is meaningless. I lost the meaning of life. So I'm doing things because, in a way, I have to, or because I'm afraid of dying. But time is going forward, waiting for death to come, without any understanding of meaning. In both ways, it's similar. Sadist or an absent. Very common. The most common nowadays, most of the people is, I feel very happy when I see this balance, or even a little bit high, because it's rare to find in our patients. Maybe normal people on the street, yes, but patients who are coming here, they have problems because this is absent or sadist. I suppose the difference between an absent is that this give up attitude is more stable. They're not fighting to understand life. They might have no virtues. Everybody might have a life and not me. The difference between ascetics is that these people are intermittent, ups and downs. And they sabotage, and they try to convince everybody that life is meaningless. So they become a little bit, always say this is a little bit evil, convincing people that so their life is meaningless. Even though sometimes they can feel some meanings, then again down. So it's an up and down depression, but they want to convince everybody. The absent, they will not. They will keep it quiet. But this inferiority complex become a great competitor. I think everybody has a destiny but me. So it becomes selfish too. I tell you, no possible. You think the universe will create somebody without destiny? Everybody has a destiny but not you. This is very silly to think of. But here we believe in magic. So the people, they believe that it's maybe possible that I am the only one in the universe without destiny. So then you are very special to the universe, the only one. The relation with the mother is, if it's absent, it will be again lack of communication with your mother, or your mother didn't do the right job at the beginning, the recording type, or maybe he's busy with her life, never giving you advices. So if my mother is not telling me, I am not able to tell to myself, so I give up. If it's a ascetic, it could be like fighting with the mother. Maybe the mother did a good job, but you are rebel to her because another ideas. So ascetics are trying to fight the mothers. Absence, no, they give up with the mother. Fighting with the mother or the father is important in life. We have to be rebels sometimes, but this at the end they will be right. But the process of fighting will teach me a lot of myself. It's not a bad thing sometimes, but of course if you do it like a radical, breaking down with my mother fully, then this is creating some big problems. Fighting with your mother from time to time, and then hugging at the end with kiss, then it's good. It's a process for your learning process of the self. But if you fully said, my mother is wrong, I don't want to talk to her anymore, that is too radical. No? Our job, as I was doing to that friend of yours, our job is to be always fathers in a way that are always right. Even though your father was an alcoholic, even though your mother was something crazy, you have to understand why they did it. The understanding of their life is telling you what to do. They are fully wrong, yes, maybe, sure, but in a way they were right. They give you a message. So do the opposite. That is a destiny. So if you think that this is your destiny, in a way they were right. They sacrificed the generation for you to learn the lesson. So this is to be right, the sacrifice of one generation. I don't know if they are right or not, but at least for every human being, we need to think that my parents were right in what they did. This gives me a lot of peace and a lot of understanding. The father love is very different sometimes. We can love by kicking you out, for you to become a man in distance. So if my father hates me from distance, it make me a man. So sometimes the energy father can be, mother has to be very holding me always. But father can love me from far away, even dying. I die, so now you are the man in the house. Some way I convince her, this is the opposite message. Your father is loving you in a different way. And then suddenly all the symptoms went away. In a matter of, I think it was a week or so, most of the symptoms went away because my father loved me in a different way. So he's not an asshole anymore. You cannot hate your parents. You can hate your parents when you're a teenager for, let's say, for a day or two. But you cannot hate them all your life. You're doing something wrong with your life. Even though they were serial killers. You have to find a way to love them. That's the only way. Hillinger gave us a nice idea. Hillinger said, this is mother and father, and this is me. Right? He said, most of the problems in the family tree, Hillinger is the guy with the family constellation, this German fellow. So most of the problem is that because in this direction, we demand, and we are expecting the demand in this direction. It should be the other way around. My father and my mother, they can send me expectations. They can demand that you should be like this, you should be like that. I have to take this demand from him, expectations. But I cannot demand up. This is the problem. If I expect my mother to be different, or if I'm expecting my mother to be different than they are, then that will cause me a lot of emotions. And it's stupid. I cannot change my mother. I can change my mother in very simple ways, like can you cook more salt in my whatever, but I cannot change her destiny. However, they should change my destiny. But nowadays, because of many cartoons and those things, the joke on the cartoon is like going up demanding, "Mama, you should be different," and they make a joke in the movie, and just changing be rebels just to change my father and my mother. That creates a lot of problems. I think he's right. He's right. Even your father was an alcoholic, and you all your life, why he was an alcoholic, why he was drinking, this why thing might kill my mind and myself. Don't try to change him, try to understand him. Then end of the story. Even though it's difficult to understand, find a way out to understand. So stop demanding up to understand. Your job is to understand their life and to complete the longings of their life, or the continuation of their life. They're difficult to see, but so these two people, they are not doing so. The job, the advice is like you are out of your destiny because you don't respect your parents. Well, my parents are stupid, even though find a way to respect. I'm not going to tell you now how to do it, but find a way to understand, because that will be your destiny. We are all searching in a way the approval of my father mainly. My mother is this unconditional love, easy to be approved by my mother, but my father is conditional love. He has a conditioning, and the condition of my father is always if I am doing right to everybody else in society, if I'm successful in society, if I make money, if the people respect me, then this is the condition of my father. I love you more, you are respectful and successful in society. These both energies we need. At least my mother will love me anyhow, but my father is a condition. Only, or at least more, you are successful. We continue in life at the year of around 1.5. Then I find my father, which is the right kidney gene. When I am breaking up the cocoon with my mother, and I was trying to explore my body, exploring the world, the reality, physical exploring, emotional exploring, breaking out my mother's cocoon. Then I need a good father. I think my father was doing a good job because he put me very far away until Bali. I feel comfortable traveling very far away from them. I can feel them inside. I got the protection here, and this is the job of my father. Even though I'm far away from my mother, I find myself. So my father was doing something right, breaking up this cocoon in those times. Even though I don't remember. My mother does, my father not so much. The mothers are the memory. Even in elephants, the memory of the tribe is running by the elephant female. Right? So she was telling me, my father played a lot with you when you were a kid. Of course I don't remember, but playing a lot means taking me out and giving me a lot of things to do, like achievements. A master in the wild image, he will be like, in a way, is a father, very worrying with society. The condition is very strong, so they put a lot of pressure on me. I will not like you unless you really achieve in society. Some fathers are very brutal on this, like rejecting you because you are not what I was expecting you. So in a way, is somebody pushing himself into society very much. It could be image, is also how I look at. The father is very worried about the car, is giving me an image in the neighborhood. My car, this is why they pay attention on the expensive cars, expensive house. So this one will be someone worry a lot about what my people might think, what the people might think about me. Even though the way they speak is very trying to be friendly, constantly dressing up nicely, nice perfume. I don't want to disappoint others. So this will be a master there. It will be like I can feel the ways I feel the force of my father demanding me to be into society and to please everybody. Sometimes it might come for the mother, but it will be doing the father's job. Sometimes all of them are very masculine. My mother and my father, both of them are asking me to be perfect in society. So then you have two fathers. Right? The other way around, both my father and my mother, they taught me to be an artist. Then you have two mothers. But you're an artist in the room without success. Two mothers. That's also possible, man. In this case, someone worry about what my people think about me, taking care of the image a lot, and not taking care of the self, maybe. More importance to the outside world and the opinions, people's opinions. If it's an absent, it will be the other way around. I really don't care about society. I give up. So the way of dressing up is a bit goofy. Maybe this guy has a car and is old and broken. He doesn't care. But do you understand that people might think wrong about you? I don't really care what people might think about me. Giving up in understanding society. So I think society in a way is wrong or right. I don't care. It becomes a little bit selfish, like just me alone, and who cares about the others' impressions of myself. That will be like the figure father. He was not there. He was not angry with you when you were clumsy. He was not angry with you when you were useless. Your father should be angry with you with the conditioning. I only love you, or I love you more if you are functional, practical, not to yourself, to everybody, to the family, to society. So maybe your father was not there telling you sometimes, I love you anyhow, I love you, then you have two mothers. No, I don't love you anyhow, I love you more if you do things right in society. It should be like this, the father. We know that it's not unconditional love, it's conditioning. I'll tell to my daughter, I love you anyhow, but I will love you more if you do things well. So I'm doing a little bit of mother too. But that's a mother energy. I can be unconditional love to my daughter, but this is my mother's side. Don't mix up people rebels against society. Let's say a hippie with a lot of dressing up in a hippie way, everything a little bit broken all around. That is someone like this. Very masochist, taking care a lot of about my group. These people usually they put like this is my group of people, which are the hippies, or my group of people are the people at the office working, right? So then these people, this one here will take care. Some of these hippies, they wake up in the morning and they spend 1 hour in the mirror making sure that everything is broken in the right way, right? And if I get this a little bit not right broken, then I'm very uncomfortable. I will go to the shop. They are constantly shopping. These hippies are shopping a lot. All this broken clothes. It's also taking care a lot about what my group might think. However, I think I'm pushing away society. Society is wrong. The hippie couple of friends of mine, we are right. But within this group, it's very important for me what my people might think. If my hippie friend, they say you are not hippie enough, then I run to the shop trying to be more hippie, a tattoo here in my face, because I want to fit into my group. This is a muscle. Don't confuse with people who don't care about society. But it depends on which group do you want to fit in. You cannot fit the whole society, but you might select. Your group of people is important. Someone like this, an absent, it will be that I don't have any belonging groups. So I don't care about what anybody will think about. Not my people, not that one, not anybody. So I don't have belonging groups. This one I have a strong belonging group, and he feels or she feels the demand of that group. Then if the group, you are a master here, and the group rejected you a little bit, like you are not enough for us, then that create a revolution. Tomorrow I will come with a bigger car, or tomorrow I will come with a feather here, so I'll be more hippie than anybody of you. And then I will make a tattoo here. Now you admit me. Oh, you're very brave. You are making our group stronger with this. Oh, then we love you. Oh, thank you. Always pushing to be fitting in society. Your opinion is important for me. This one, no groups. If it's a sadist here, it's not so common, the wild image. Now it's inferiority complex in understanding society, which it will be like, I really don't know what is going on right now here. I'm quite lost in society. Maybe people know where to go, what to do in society. For me, I'm lost. But sadists are always a little bit evil. They will try to convince you that society is fully crazy, so don't go anywhere. They don't have any belonging groups. Sometimes for a while, intermittent. Sometimes they belong to this group. Suddenly they destroy the group. They go to another group. They destroy the group. So they will change even the clothes. Like one day I'm dressing like a like an office person. Next month I become gothic and I'm fully black with makeup. Next month they will go something else. So they are quite lost. Sometimes a lot of importance in society, basically very rare, but sometimes very nothing, no importance. Most of the time ups and downs, but the ups are more important. I give up. Important when they are down here, they change my group of belonging. Yeah, it's not so common. Maybe it's common in teenagers nowadays that they keep on searching. But sometimes they're searching. You remember searching for different projects. So that's fair enough for them to see: are you gothic? Are you heavy metal? Are you pop music? They're moving up and down. So this is why it's important for us, especially for this kidney, to ask the patient, how old are you? In which stage of your life you are. On 40, that will change the picture of your problems. And 16 is changing also the symptoms, the picture of your symptoms. Yeah. Especially for these organs, we need to know how old are you, age. So you can see if you are fully trying up and down in society, but you are 16, maybe this is balance. This is what you should do. So you are doing right, continue checking different music, different things. But if you are 40 plus and you keep on changing, maybe you have a sadist there. It is not the time for you to just break your projects and bring a new one out of the blue. It is not, with 40 years old, you should be more focused. So that will be sadist here. So let's say the maso has so many projects here. Maybe parallel, but too much, then you cannot even concentrate or focus. You don't have a stronger project here when you are a maso. When you're a maso, so many projects that overwhelming you, a lot of energy, but nothing is really. Sometimes even projects are not crossing. This project destroyed. These two projects are destroying the other ones. So it's difficult to progress. And absent here, the projects will be maybe one single line slowly. Just I have 2 or 3 projects slowly. If I am 40 years old, yet my projects are a little bit immature and absent here. So this is also checking, and this one is the maturity process. I'll make it up for you more clear. Yeah. Let's say this is a maso here, right kidney yin, and I am here right now 40 years old. It could be the average of our patients. But then in some projects, he will be pushing too much. Your behavior is like you are 50. But some other projects, you are immature. Right? And some other ones, maybe you are here. A little bit of, this one is also quite mature. Very common nowadays, someone with 40 years old, very mature in my job. Because our society is very practical, right? So I behave like a real businessman, even more than my age. But in terms of understanding love, I'm very mature. In terms of understanding spirituality, I am very mature too. So all these lines are not very together. In India, someone told me that you are sitting on a stool. The stool have 3 legs. They said that this is physical, spiritual, and emotional, I suppose, right? So you have to grow this stool along your life. If you develop a lot the physical, you cannot sit down. It will fall down all the time in life. This right kidney yin is the one telling you that we have to grow as even as possible, all my projects, to have a stable life. Maso will develop something very much, but forget about some other things. So sometimes, when you are 50, let's say, then you have to come back here. Very common, this adult crisis, that middle crisis they call it, right? Very common in the middle crisis, or even before, you are going back. Suddenly you were very serious in your job, but you forget about enjoying yourself. Suddenly with 50 years old, I abandon my life, I abandon my family, and then I become like going to the bars, drinking, dancing with 50. A little bit of, and then you ask them and said, I was very serious on my life, but then I was feeling depressed because all these lines are not completed. Then you're jumping back. So muscles are jumping forward, but sometimes they have to come back. This is the energy of the muscle in time, in your life. And absent, it is more stable in time. and absent poles here. The maturity process, let's say again that you're 40, the maturity process, most of them are not even reaching 40, but let's say it a little bit more unique. Less projects, you have only maybe this much. This one have so many projects, and some of them very mature, some other ones immature. And this one is less projects, but more or less stable, and not with my age much, but near, close to. I can love, I can work, I can understand my emotions, so in a way this is better for maturity process, absent. Your behavior is like maybe 35 in most of the things that you do. Right? But it's close to. Here you behave like a 50 sometimes, but in this one you are still like a teenager. And in this one you have even 5 years old. We humans are full of different lines. And we have to grow them all equally. You cannot abandon one single thing. You have to go to a temple, and then you have to go to the gym, and then you have to go to pick up a book. We have to continually maintain all this. If it's a sadist here, then he will sabotage his own projects. It's rare to find, because that will be someone with no success. Everything I started, I sabotage, and then I start another project and it's breaking down this one. You cannot play basketball and do cycling. Not possible, because cycling is stopping the jumping. It's difficult for your muscles. When you're cycling, jumping is difficult. So your basketball coach is telling you, you want to be here, don't pick up your bicycle. Maybe the other way around, I know. So yeah, sometimes projects, they cannot come together, they destroy one another. And the sadist will pick up will feel attracted to project and destroy my other project, which is a little bit of stupid, because projects are expensive in time and money and effort. So how can you destroy one another? Rare to find a sadist here, but if it happens, it will be like that. In the maturity process, the same thing. Let's say that you're 40 years old, and it's similar to this one, and you abandon this one here, and then you have a gap here, continue. Very common, you have to jump back. The behavior is quite random in a way. Sometimes you behave like a very mature in your business. Next day in your business also, in the same line, your behavior is childish. So it is like, because there is gaps in between your learning process. You abandon this one and then you jump in from here. I'm going to try to behave today like I am 50, but today I will try to behave like I am 18. So the personality becomes a little bit like not stable. Maturity process. So the name of this one, Left Kidney Jam, is wild. The wild projects of my life, which include always the kidneys, includes the groups. And this is the force that we have inside, the determinism, the force that we have inside to help us of constant progress, maturity, changing different phases in life. So depends always, this is very important, especially in this organ, the age. How old are you? Because in every phase in life we have different taxes to do, different things to do. We talk about that we have 3 different phases. The first one is the enjoyment, when we are kids, to enjoy, then we become adults, around 18 years old. Then this is the self-satisfaction, and then the legacy. So we need to know how old are you. This is why in that paper we ask the patient for the age. Also in this one, most of our patients, of course, are coming from the maturity line. Most of them are adulthood or at the end. Most of them is between 30 until the end. We don't get very young people coming as much. Let's say for this one, the average will be around 35, 40. So that at this age, you should have already some projects, like is the main one. We have many projects, hopefully parallel, coming. But one should be the main one, and the other ones have to support this one. The main one has to be supported by all the different projects. The main one usually is the one that is bringing you the money. Right? We have to survive, and what makes you happy, because this is also related to happiness, this is to progress in this project. If this project is growing every day, that's a sense of also happiness, which in the adulthood is called self-satisfaction or self-accomplishment. This is the happiness inside. So if we have a muscle here in the left kidney yam, then it will be someone running fast in this timeline and in the maturity process. So his behavior or her behavior, let's say it's around 40, in some parts of his life the behavior will be very mature because he's in a hurry. Muscles are insufficient complex, so I'm trying to mature very fast. That if I'm 40, my behavior could be like a 50 years old. But when you are running too fast, some of the lines for maturity are going to be not very well taken care of. So let's say that in my job, usually in the West, my behavior in my job is very mature. However, in terms of spirituality or love, I'm not very mature. My behavior is like 18 years old, and this one is 13. I behave like a teenager, which is very common nowadays because our society is very fast. It's pushing us to run. Right? So we can run in one direction, but we forget many other lines. Didn't we talk about this? Mm-hmm. So that will be a maso, someone who is jumping from my present time to the future. However, forgetting or abandon some other maturity lines in my past. Very common then that when you are reaching certain age, you get like a, kind of like a crisis, and then you want to go back and to catch up or recover something that you left behind. Sometimes it's possible, and sometimes you have this abandoned ship and okay, it's too late. I'm not going to be now a party guy. These people, maybe the other way around, they are very strong in spirituality, so they behave like a quite advanced spiritual people, but they forget about the business. They don't really know how to run a business, which is something simple. They behave like they are brand new in a business. Maybe with this business is more than 40 years, but they're still making a lot of mistakes in the business. So we can say that they are immature in this because of too much of the spiritual line. Now that will happen if you are forcing yourself a bit in this one. This is part of the destiny because it's left kidney. Things have to unfold by itself, and you only have to pay attention to develop all the virtues more or less equally. If you are forcing this arm too much, you have to compensate with this exercise too. The same thing in life. So muscle is jumping and missing sometimes, you have to come back. If it's an absent, the absent will be like in the maturity line. It's not so bad thing. The behavior will be a little bit back up. Let's say you're 40 again, but the behavior is around 35, but nobody will notice. Most of them will be more or less similar. So it doesn't seem to have a lot of differences in the personality. He's more capable of many things. How do you call someone like this? More versatile. This one is not very versatile. The young is only very good at certain things. The other ones not so good. And I say it will be someone who sabotage his own maturity lines. Like if this is my main one, then I will start another idea here, crossing like this, which is destroy this one. It's a crash in this one. Very rare to find, but yeah, will be someone that never is able to achieve anything. As soon as things are going fine, then I do something to destroy, which it will be like a pattern of self-destroy pattern. Some people who are taking drugs, or some people who are, I don't know, they are comfortable in misery, comfortable in pain, suffering. So they are afraid. Some people is like this. They are afraid when things are going fine. They think this is not possible. I don't believe this one, because maybe my family, my education when I was a child, usually all the happiness broke down. When I was starting to feel happy, something happened. So for them, life is when they are afraid of happiness. So this sabotage is not happiness. It's inferiority complex. Everybody can be happy, but not me. So when things are going fine, you destroy. That will be the sadist there, right? Yeah. Which is possible, but not so common also. You remember this is the one that I was telling you, like the Don Quixote and the writer. So when the project is already running, we get a lot of demand from the project itself, as it is like a living being, like some kind of living being is demanding me. I wake up in the middle of the night and I have to write my book, continue. So this amount of energy that is calling from the project itself, this is willpower. If you don't have a nice project going on, then you feel lazy and tired. This is also the energy that we talked, and it's very important when we are growing older, because that will make me to live longer. People who are nice projects until the end, they are energy until the end. So okay, when we have a muscle here, it will be like someone searching for this kind of energy, but with a little bit of too much of willpower. I'm forcing it because it is not there. It means I don't have any projects, I have to force it from the inside. Because when you have a nice project, this will be balanced. Then the energy is there. By doing nothing, you feel the energy, because the project is calling you. You have to force it a little bit, then it's a muscle. It means that you are searching for energy, because naturally it's not coming. Maybe you have to running a lot, going to the gym a lot, even though you feel tired. So even though you're pushing for energy, you don't get it as much. This is insufficient complex. It could be a nice solution for a short time in life until you really find the project that you like. But the project is coming from the other yam. This project coming for the left kidney yam. Left kidney yam, and we just talk about it. This is the wild project. So, but this is helping. If this is high, I'm trying to help this one. Maybe to find a better project or more projects, something they're helping one another, of course. So Masoi will be someone with no energy, but forcing himself. It could be related a bit with these speculative energies. Yes, I have to go to a gym, I have to go running. But I feel tired even though. Some people, they don't go to a gym, they don't go running, they're doing nothing, but they're full energy because they have beautiful projects to take care of. And the beautiful projects are always this: my son, my job. If there is an absent here in the right kidney yam, then it's somebody done impotency complex, giving up. I don't have any projects, and even though I have, I abandon them. Like I give up with my office, I give up with my daughter. So yeah, they feel lazy, they don't want to do anything to go out of this situation. The master is trying to go out from this lack of energy, but this one, it is like uncomfortable like this, let me alone. In a way, it is when you are growing older, it's dangerous. You can tell here how long you're going to live. You are over in the legacy stage of life, over 65. If this is low, no motivation, no projects, then you are not going to last so long. Even the allopathic doctors, if they want to tell you for how long you're going to live, they're still looking at the kidneys. If you have let's say you have a cancer, but your kidneys are very powerful, they tell you, well, for the moment it's fine. But as soon as the kidneys are going wrong, then the lasting it will be less. So they maintain also the long-lasting life. This one, it is part of the consumer axis. This is going all the way to the lungs. It will bring me the reaction to the outside, because this is quite this is absent. Let's say that the other one, which is that liver yam, if it's also a little bit absent, then also no reactions. You can see this in many old people, and then they becoming slow, not jumping for the opportunities, because this is going to the consumer axis. If each side is in the right kidney yam, father willpower. Yeah, this is the inferiority complex in everything I try to do. It's like every time I try to put some passion or some energy in the projects, nothing is working very well. So at the end I get the conclusion, I cannot, every time I put my effort, things are not working out. So a little bit afraid of the pushing in the projects. So it's another sabotage, and you sabotage your own projects. It is affecting a lot the other one, the one who created the projects, which is the left kidney yam. This one is creating the projects, but this one I have to obey in a way and bring me energy to complete my projects. If you have ascites here, then this project will be also with no energy. So you abandon, the project is going fine, but I have no power to continue. And then you just abandon the idea. Even though the idea is going fine, but I cannot push it because a matter of energy. That's it. Not a matter of intelligence or a matter of I don't have the energy to continue with this. Then I abandon the project. But it's difficult to know, because sometimes if this is balance, this also will tell this one here. Remember, we have many projects in my life. Some of them they have to be cancelled out. I cannot complete all of them. That will be too much. You have to decide, especially when you're growing older, decide which one I'm going to focus in. So this one will tell, okay, I give you energy, but I give you energy for this one and this one, and you feel that in passion. And when I do this, I have a lot of energy. I have passion on it. But every time I have to do this other job, then my energy level goes down. This could be balance here. It's intelligent enough to tell you which one you should push and which one better to abandon. I don't have energy for all of them, so better you just. And so many projects in our life, they stop here, and this one continue. It doesn't mean if you abandon this one and this is sadist. It means the other way around. It means that you are balanced. You are able to identify it with intelligence which one to push, which one not to. So this will be a little bit random, like when things are going fine, I have no energy for this. So it sounds like a little bit stupid, but, and then I give you energy for this one, and it's useless. So this is why it's not common to see, because that will be quite of like a disaster in life. But it's possible. It's also related with this alcoholic type. People who destroy the life of drugs. The people who are using drugs a lot. Drugs is a way when things are going fine. I'm very happy that my family is fine. Let me celebrate, and I go party full night taking drugs and alcohol. Yeah, then the beautiful of that thing is now destroyed. So now let us talk about the imbalance. So we are starting from the left kidney yin. We have these possibilities in the left kidney yin. It could be maso. Left kidney yin could be an absent. Left kidney yin could be a sadist. These three imbalance. This one is so big, the amount of information that it can give us, that it's very difficult to know exactly what to ask to the patient and what to conclude. The starting point is always about mother. How is your relation with your mother? Because the mother is bringing you all this energy together. So most of the time, this is what I do, is asking what is your relation with your mother? From there, you start thinking. But it is the family tree, of course. But the mother is the door to open all the information, all the energy through the family tree to me. But also another way of thinking, the connection with the mother is developing my natural virtues, and my responsibility as a family team member. So then you should understand, sometimes I ask them, what are you doing for a living? So it depends. Some jobs are clearly, they are not so, it's not a destiny. Some jobs are not a good destiny. So you need to know not only what are you doing, or more is the passion that you're doing on that destiny. Do you really love what you're doing? If you love what you're doing, it's because you are in your destiny. So let's say we're asking the patient and said, I am a lawyer, but if you can see that the guy really enjoyed to be a lawyer, yeah, maybe you were born as a lawyer, which is difficult, but it's possible. Yeah, but they said I'm an artist, so to most of the time I suppose that you are on your destiny, because you are a little bit going against money, even though you are pushing for your virtues. But if you are an artist, it could be that you are not doing the father is not there. So do you remember, for destiny we need, the message of the mother is, do the I am. My mother is the I am myself, I am my virtues. My father will tell me, yes, you are, but you also have to integrate yourself in society, you have to achieve, you have to produce money. So both things should be done. You can be a great artist, but you're alone in your room. Your father will tell you, okay, get your guitar and trying to be famous. So we need both energies, right? So Maso here will be somebody searching for my virtues, my destiny. We are always asking in this diagnosis sheet, how old are you? How old are you is telling us a lot of things. Most of the time our patients are over 40, 45. between 40 and 45 are patients, right? Which is the age when troubles are starting the most, physical troubles, even though we have all kind of ages, right? But this is helping us. If you are over 45 and you are still searching for a destiny, it's never too late, of course, but it means that you were having some trouble before. Right? It meant that you did something wrong before, or you were lost before. However, this is a good idea now. It's helping you, because it's never too late to find some kind of destiny of what to do. But this is the middle life crisis. People are changing and said, I didn't like what I was doing, then I went to search for a new job, new family, new things. Yeah. Remember, this is a lot related with this angle theory. This is my natural path, and sometimes I break apart. So breaking apart means that I am having some troubles in the left kidney yin. If I am outside of my destiny, this will give me problems. But somebody with a muscle here, it will mean I'm doing something to return to my destiny. I'm doing something, so it's good. We can use it as a muscle with moksha and everything, but it's not a bad signal, because it's never too late. The only thing that it can tell us is that you were, for many years, you were a bit wrong, or outside of what you really enjoyed. If it's an absent here, which is the most common, so we will see most of the people nowadays, these two, rather sadist or an absent. So in both ways, it is giving up my destiny. The absent, it means like I give up, and that's it. So no suffering inside. I think life in a way is meaningless. I'm just waiting till the time to tick tock until I die, and then no connection with my family tree, no understanding spirituality. It's just, they're a bit lost in this understanding of life. This is when it's an absent, which is common nowadays, because our religion nowadays, Catholic religion, fell in many ways. They were using, in my opinion, with a lot of interest. Maybe at the beginning was a nice religion, but with all the interest around, people are lost. They use the idea of Jesus Christ suffering. Jesus Christ was not only suffering. Life is no suffering and that. So many people are lost in that way. The difference with a sadist is inferiority complex. Is when people are thinking inside, everybody has a destiny but not me. And that gives you a different pain inside. So absent is like, I have no destiny, and I think, actually absent, they think nobody has destiny also. So life actually is meaningless. We are here just, I don't know what, just passing through and waiting to, all of us, not only me. But sadists, they think that I am inferior. They do have a destiny, but not me. Sadists can be a little bit spiritual sometimes. And the sadists, remember, they have ups and downs. Sometimes they are spiritual, sometimes they are not. But the anger inside of they do and I don't create this manipulation, this manipulating people. So in a way, like vampires, they want to convince people into some kind of meaningless life. So you talk with them about some kind of philosophical things, they have the charisma to convince you that life is meaningless. They are more dangerous to speak with them. Absence, they don't try to convince you. They don't manipulate people. So in a way, it's dangerous because they don't destroy also the destiny. They can destroy people's destiny as well.
Yeah, yo sé eso.
So they don't do it consciously. This is not part of the mental axis. They're not doing thinking like this. No. But by the way they are doing it, they destroy people's destiny without intention. Sadist is the most common sadist in the world. Many people are lost. Well, like vampires or Dracula, when you kill somebody, you feel proud. Another one in my box, they want to make more people like me.
I know.
It's like alcoholics, they want everybody to drink. So these people, they want everybody to be without destiny. They can become, after you break a sadist, you can become absent, and then you feel sorry. You can become a maso, then you feel sorry and trying to compensate. Or you can become balanced, and then, okay. Normally, breaking a sadist, most likely absent, and slowly this absence is rising to balance. This is what we are expecting to happen with the treatment. Or sometimes life is like this. Someone with a sadist here is also complex It doesn't, it's not proud of my family. You should be proud of your family and proud of your genes, your DNA. Maybe they have a complex because I'm too white, and I'm complex because I'm too dark, because I'm very ugly. I hate my mother because she's ugly, so I'm ugly too. This kind of hating also is because I say this here. Everybody is beautiful, but not my family. Or all my family are fat. This I hate my mother. You hate your mother because she's very fat, so you are fat too. Then that's also a kind of say this here. And it's the same thing. These fat families are feeding the kids a lot, like 5 years old, and then, now you belong to us. Now we are all fucked up. They're proud of. If you remember, this one is the starting point of the spiritual axis, connecting with the lung yin. So the underneath obesity, most of the time is depression. Depression means this one is saddest. So these obese people, they're convincing other ones to be obese as well. This is at my life when my father, it is helping me to go away from the cocoon of my mother to show me the world, the adventurist is starting, the explorer. And every time I have to explore the world, which is natural, my fathers will help me. So now we can have again here a maso. We can see in the poles absent, or maybe the poles is sadist. This is still the yin, however, in the right kidney. So this is the father trying to understand society in order to guide the family into society, right? A way of protection. If it's a maso here, it will be like your father inside. This is inside you, right? But your father inside, it is taking you to a lot of very important, the opinion of others, what the people might think about me. So you are running your life, you have a muscle there, by the people's opinion. However, if you are fitting too much, if you want to fit too much into society, you become a little bit of like a servant of society, like, I don't know how to say this in English. Like a teacher's pet, you call it, right? Teacher pet? Mm-hmm. Teacher pet of society, like not even a great thinker, that whatever society is telling me, I go. I'm always trying to please others more than even my family sometimes. So the family is not important, more important the neighbors, which is something silly in a way, right? This is a muscle there. So the way he will, or she, it doesn't matter, he will dress up, he will give a lot of importance in the image. So the clothes will be very much with the fashion, even expensive clothes. He or she will put an extra effort in a new car, and you have to pay to the bank a lot, but the car is the wild image. You will put a nice effort in a nice house, so the neighbors will think that you are powerful, because a nice house, nice car.
Yeah.
These people will like to pick up, if you are talking about a guy, it's important the beauty of my wife. I don't care about this one, the soul inside or the personality. As soon as I can't present it into society and she's beautiful, then for me, so searching more for outside beauty, to impress the society with my belongings, including my wife, to my husband, including my car and my house, very important nowadays. My watch is also, every time I talk, everybody can see how expensive it is. So these people will push a little bit too much their economy. They're living ahead from their economical power. If it's an absent here, it will be the opposite. Like this is the father reading newspaper and going too much into society. In this way, it is like not following society at all. I don't care. Don't confuse the rebels. I mean, even hippies, then they're going in the mirror. One hippie fellow, they take 1 hour in the mirror just to be sure that everything is broken in the right way. And the tattoo is fully, they take a lot of care about their own image. This is also muscle here. But however, you have to, this muscle depends on your belonging group. So we are here, I taking care of my neighbors. Taking care of and your neighbors are hippies, then it's important that. So someone who doesn't care about the image, you will be someone that is dressing up very normal dressing, like not so formal, not so goofy, just whatever is there in the market, I put it on.
This is the accent.
Yeah, they're not so expensive also, because I don't want to spend the money of my family. So something cheap and not simple, right? That will be an absent. Yeah. It could be a little bit dirty, could be a little bit, but not on purpose. So this here is inferiority complex. So that I really don't understand society. I don't understand where are we going to. And it's not so common. Nowadays everybody's very social. But the thing is that there are intermittent ups and downs. So this is like a Madonna video, changing the image from one day to another. It's insecure in what should I offer to society. So some days I dress up like a Gothic, full black. Then the next week I will dress up in another way. So a little bit changing, and sometimes my belonging group are these people. Then these people are not now the other one. So that's sometimes happens, but in teenagers, right? If you are an adult, it will be something similar. You don't know which one is your belonging group. So you are changing from one belonging group to another. Like moody in these decisions. If you have your belonging group, you are able to make money. This is why the merchant, the heart, it is in charge of this one. If you are constantly changing your belonging groups, most likely this father, who was to be also a supplier, you will not make a lot of money. So that's also that you're changing your group, you have to actually, you feel without friends. In our society nowadays, if you're fanatic on some kind of group, there's a lot of possibilities and money there. You're fanatic in football, if you love football, a lot, you can make a lot of money, just become a major journalist or something. If you are a supporter of Manchester United, then also you have so many friends that are waiting for you. The fanatic you are more in the center, they will love you the most. If you are alone, you can be fanatic in some kind of group. But if you are constantly changing the groups, then it's difficult to have friends, difficult to have money. So a fanatic in Manchester United, it is guiding my family. This is the father. I will guide my family into Manchester United. I will buy a t-shirt to 5 years old with Manchester United. Taking to him and then goal, and the kid is like goal too. Just pushing my family in this one. This is the job of the father, which is normal. Right? So if you have a side here, then your father it doesn't give you any reference belonging groups, because he himself is lost. So you are also okay. Then you started to feel like no friends, a bit lonely. Yes, I'm alone in this. So how to make friends, however money also. And when you're in your adult life, we make money with friends a lot. But we have to with the people that really understand. Sure, no roots, difficult to make money. So when studies is here, it's a little bit broken, because you cannot change your basement to another area tomorrow. So the moody there, the love of the father actually, it is outside the cocoon. It's outside you. Sometimes your father loves you by being far away. Far away. Just the message of my father, his life, his message. He doesn't have to be present. The mother has to be present, but the father far away is also a kind of love. And sometimes by me killing myself, if I disappear, the message is, if I continue present, I will make more damage. Most of the time, if the father is present, it makes a lot of damage. It's better the father goes away. So some of them, they said, it's a signal of love. I kill myself, because if I stay here with you, I will create more damage. By my father killing himself is proving me love. It's very common in history. Then the father goes out for 3 years and coming back to the family. This is not a problem. You're raised up by your mother, but your father is a symbol. And sometimes getting news from your father. You know, your father was doing this in war. He was doing this and that. Good. That's it. Oh, this is a lot of information, and this is enough sometimes. That we are not so good at present, guys. So sometimes absent it is a form of love. You can suicide, or you can run away. You can just at least send him money. What I'm doing to my daughter, send him money from distance, and send him love. I said, I'm doing everything because of you. However, I'm not there, and I'm sending you money. This is the love of the father. Let's move on to now this one. After we are 18 years old and so on. Levkindian. The name is the wild project. We have to make wild projects in life. It could be that we have here a maso, it could be an absent or a sadist. the imbalance that we can see in the pulse. Somebody with a muscle here in the left kidney yam. Is a lot depends on the age. So this is why it's important. How old are you, to see it, what you are supposed to be doing at this age. If you are 18 years old and you have only just different projects, this is normal. You have to try it here and there. But if you are 40 and you're still having so many projects at the same time, then I think you have to get a little bit more focus. And just don't put a lot of energy in 100 projects. Trying to maintain 3 or 4 projects parallel to one another, and they sustain one another. This is intelligence. So I'm also here, let's say that the patient is 40, it will be many projects, and some of them are crossing, so they are not helping so much one another sometimes. You lost energy, one project is destroying the other one. That will be a muscle. I want to do so many things. Insufficient complex. You do a lot, you cannot achieve so much. So something important also is in this left kidney yam, it is giving me the maturity. After the 18 years old, before I belong to my parents' destiny. The maturity, it is coming with time. It depends also in every society, right? But maturity means that the most important things in life, we have different lines in maturity, right? Maybe this is my responsibility as a worker, this is my maturity with love, maturity like as a protector, many different things. Someone we should call mature, it is more or less, most of the things are equally balanced. So the maso here, it will be somebody, this is a balanced person. So if you are 40 years old, most of the things are close to 40 years old. Maso, it will be somebody running too fast in many things. So let's say this is very common in a Western society. My working abilities are very much developed. Even though I'm 40, I behave very professionally as I am even 60. I'm a great worker, very mature in business, very clever. So I am a little bit ahead of my time. However, because I'm pushing a lot of things here, very fast, I forget about my line with maybe love. I am like a teenager in love, however, very professional. Common nowadays, right? So there will be a little bit muscle here. If you're jumping too fast, this is not your age, and you behave like your age, like an older, you behave older, then there's a muscle there, moving too fast, immaturity line. But then you forget some things on something behind. Some of the things are not so developed. So you are 40 and you are something like this. So very common when you are reaching some of that age, then you are missing this one. It's a gap in your emotions. It's a gap in your maturity process. So this is the middle life crisis, when you want to go back and say, okay, now I will forget a little bit about my business, which is I've done very well in my life with money and business, but I'm very lonely in terms of love or friendship. So then my middle crisis will take me back. So the muscle here, if you maintain the muscle for a long time, which is very common in our society, then somehow you will have to come back, like you're playing with the time machine. You have to come back, and now when you are 40, you are going back to chasing girls and going party, because you haven't done it. You were too responsible in those times. If we talk about an absent in the maturity line, it is not a big damage. Let's say that you are 40, so then your behavior, most of them even, is maybe 38, which will not make any difference. So you cannot even make the difference. But absent, it is more stable going. Going with time is slow, but stable in time. So when you are 45, most of them are balanced, but a little bit behind. Maso is some things are jumping too fast, too ahead in time. Some other ones are forgotten. We have to. In India, they told me that life is like a stool with 3 legs, like body, mind, and soul. As you written in your right. So your life, you have to sit down in here. If you developed spirituality a lot and you forget about this one, how can you sit down? You will fall. Life will give you troubles because you are falling off. Right? If you develop your material life a lot, but you forget about spirituality, same thing, you cannot sit down in this stool. So it is very important for the maturity that we're trying to work out everything at the same time. So my life seems to be like I have the feeling of the balance and stability wherever I do.
I like that.
Yeah, this is when I came to India, they told me this. Yeah, these people, they understand. For us, a Western society, it is spirituality is like this, right? The mind is a lot, and mind, body, and soul.
Not so much either.
But it's something like this, right? This is most important for us. Is the mind, body, and soul. It is very easy. People in the West falling down in depression, in pain, in symptoms. Okay, sadist. Now that we're talking about this maturity line, sadist, it is someone who sabotages his own maturity line, which is not so common there, but it's possible. When you are growing more mature, suddenly you do something crazy to destroy the whole progress. Wow. Which is a waste of energy, right? But they don't feel comfortable advancing, progressing. So then again, I do so many, when the business is going fine, I ruin everything. For 3 months I'm doing fine, and then I destroy everything down. Starting all over again. Sabotage your own projects. This is the inferiority complex. So you, something like this. You push. When you are reaching here, I think I cannot do it. This is fully wrong. I did some mistake. So I feel inferior. So do just cancel everything out, starting all over again here. So you see a lot of motions. Muscle, let's say it again, in a Western society, you develop your working skills a lot, even more than your age. Even though you want to go back and a little bit trying to recover this one, this is not broken. Every time you want to come back here, it will be there. This is your expertise. You learn how to do this. You can go back and do it as good as before. If you come back, this will not grow so fast, but at least you're catching slowly. You can catching, growing older until you're reaching here maybe. I think it's always progressing because you already push it. So it's already progressing. But this is the money in the bank. Security, sure. Right? But sadists, no, they will destroy. It's a little bit frustration for your life. So they get like nothing I do is working. When things are working, I sabotage my own things. Remember sadists, they want more sadists. So all your friends are doing like this, you will be a sadist too, like vampires. So now when they get the salary, let's go, hey, and they, I'm sorry, I love you. Yeah, in Peru it's a big drama about that, Drinkers, and they break all the money, break everything. So you progress, you're making money for the family, and then destroy everything. You're working for a month, and you burn all the money in 3 days. So because when you are doing this, the self-satisfaction is not coming. The self-accomplishment is not coming so much. So usually these people, they have this Peter Pan syndrome. They behave like everything is enjoyment. Hedonism. Just the only thing that they want is to have fun. So only just party enjoyment, giving to my body pleasures, sex, food, all this kind of, giving a massage, everything that please my. So at the end, the meaning of my life is just to enjoy it. But it's difficult because if you want to enjoy life, you have to progress. It is compulsory, life force. So then you will become depressed on the way. You can do it for 1 day, of course, yes, but if you do it like a routine, when you are growing older, you are 60 years old, it's still like, party. Then, but inside, it's impossible to be happy like that. Now the last one to come, it is the energy that the project it is giving me. So if this one, it is, if I have a nice project pushing me, then I'm full of energy. I wake up in the morning with, okay, let's do it. Like the passion for the project. If it's a maso, it's an absent or a sadist, we call it father willpower. So if it's a maso here, it's because your project is not going fine, so you're pushing yourself up. This is related with the speculative energies. You're forcing yourself, but the project is not so well done. So when this is a maso in the right kidney yam, father willpower, you're trying to reach energies, but not naturally. You're forcing these energies. So you're trying to convince yourself that things are going fine, things are going fine. However, it is not true, it's not going fine. It's not so bad. If it's lasting, sometimes we have to push extra. Even though we are tired, we have to push in order to success. This is sometimes normal. If it's running for many years, then you're forcing yourself to with nothingness. You're pushing to a project that is not your project. You're pushing on somebody's dream. It's not your dream. It's not your destiny. So when you are not in your destiny, things are very difficult to move, heavy and difficult to learn. So we don't know. It's common to see this one, like a maso. We use it in the maso 1, maso 2, we use it as part of the treatment. Absent, it will be somebody, it depends on the age, somebody without a project. So this is normal. If you don't have a project, then you don't have energy. You're lazy every day, how is your energy? Down. How to obtain, how to gain energy. Just find something that you really like, that you really are in love with. Passion. Find some passion and push it every day, and that the energy will come. Well, this is the kidneys is always, you're never alone. Kidneys are family. So sometimes the project, you share the project with your husband, you share the project even with your colleagues. The projects are always, you are not alone. Yeah, this is creating, you are right, many discussion, arguments in the family. Because if the father and the mother, the father is pushing a lot, this one, and the mother is not pushing much, so then they fight. So come on, I think you are here and I'm doing this extra effort, we have to push together. Beautiful marriage is when everybody's agree with the same project, we are pushing equally. So which is common in the education of my child. The children are making the same project. But if you have some project and I have another one, then this is a discussion. You know? This is, and then maybe I don't like this project, but we have to make money. So then don't force me to help you if it's not my project. Yes, these kind of problems. It's important, and the full family is with the same ideas. The projects are never alone. So if this is absent, it is like you are waiting for a nice passion to come. You are not passionate person. Everybody is passionate by nature. Humans, we are. The thing is that you need to find what really bring up this feeling. What kind of project? So there is no project, there is no passion. Yeah? So you can say you are working on something that you don't really like. This is why there is no energy for you. And I threat these people and said, right now, this organ, remember this is the organ that makes you stronger when you are reaching this age. When you are getting older, this one, it is the health and longevity. Not only to live long, to be healthy when you are older. This Donald Trump he's an asshole. However, he's more or less healthy. With 70, he's doing so many things. I mean, to be the president of something, he's waking up in the morning, non-stop for.
He thinks he's great.
Yeah, when he talks, you can see his energy.
I am at.
Yeah, because he's doing something that he likes it. He's passionate. So very important when you are getting always of your life, especially when you are getting old. So to someone like this, you said, if you don't change into something passionate, you might die soon. You are 60 plus, with this down is dangerous. If you are a teenager, like starting here, and this is absent, also teenagers is the power full of love and passion. This is the starting point, this is important. You are starting with passion here, it will be easy to maintain passion on the long run. Sadness here. Sadness here is also not very common, very rare to find. Sadness there. And because it will be also always somebody sabotaging his own energies. Energies are very expensive. You sabotage your own passion. What kind of silliness is this? Stupid, right?